Chastity, the social media influencer and rockstar killer. Maria, from Miami. And Lucy, aspiring actress. Sydney, hip-hop lover and writer, so I'm told. And my quiet one, Mackenzie. Well, hello, ladies. I'm Bella. I have a question for everyone. Why do you think rich men cheat? Control.
I'm going home.
Don't go.
Attention.
You bring the total package to the table. You just need the right friends.
Are you my friend?
No, but you can be mine.
And power.
I stuck my neck out for you,
Thank you!
and I pulled the strings to get you onto this show.
Take all three away, and he becomes desperate.
So, what's with the apples?
Well, it represents knowledge, wisdom, beauty, and power. Here, you will learn how to gain ownership of all.
I'm gonna send you the money for the ticket, and I already have your room set up at the Palms.
You do that, babe.
Because once you have possession of the apple, no man alive will have power over you.
You make it sound so easy.
Oh, it's not easy.
Brett, look, I'm sorry.
Save it! Save it!
I get no auditions.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
I get no callbacks.
I really need to get upstairs. They stole all my money.
I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you're no better than the rest of us.
Right now, they have a do not disturb until this afternoon. If they call you, great.
How is he gonna call me if he doesn't?
If not, charge it to the game.
Make no mistake, ladies. In order to succeed in this game, you must be willing to play it out till the very end.
This business is all types of savage.
What are you doing?
But if you follow my blueprint, I guarantee you will become a millionaire within the next 3 years. Possibly way earlier. So, are you ready to take that step?
Another day, another dollar. Ain't about money, don't you holler. 100 miles and racing, and that money conversation be my only motivation, yeah.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Catherine Nunez, and you're watching Real Talk with the director and the council on the IE network.
Real Talk.
Hey, I'm Gina Lou, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real Talk.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, this is Monique Dupree, and you are watching Real Talk with the Director on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
It's Vicky Judy. Orange is the new black, and I'm here with Real Talk.
Yo, what up? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio. Keep it locked.
Hi, I'm Trina Parks, and you're listening to Real Talk Radio with the Director. Hey, I'm Issa Rae, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Nothing more, nothing less. Welcome back. Welcome back to Real Talk with Director and the Jedi Council. I'm the Director. We'll be with you for the next 120 minutes or so. Real Talk brought to you by B2S Media every Monday. We broadcast live via the World Wide Web on youtube.com/IE Network TV. And of course, Facebook, aka Meta, the social media, the social network itself, and Twitter. Hey, people. Shout out to the chat room. Welcome back. Thank you so much. All right. So, I mean, I'm not going to go as far as to say Happy Halloween this early because we actually have a show on Halloween, which is pretty cool this year. But Happy Halloween, meaning the film Halloween Ends premiered this week over the weekend. Shout out to all the Libras out there. Not just the Libras, because there's some Scorpios that have birthdays in the month of October as well. But right now, it's still Libra seasons. You feel it getting colder. It's about to cross over to Scorpio season. So, shout out to the Libras, the October Libras, the September Libras. I just had my birthday over last week. Friday was my birthday. You can now refer to me as Agent 47. And all my nerds know what that means. But yeah, so big up to all of the Libras out there that had celebrated birthdays. But anyway, on my birthday, October 14th, there was the release of Halloween Ends. So I'm wondering who saw it. If you saw it, did you like it? If you didn't like it, I understand. If you did like it, I understand that as well. However, we'll probably touch on it a little bit today. We'll try to stay spoiler free, but it's on Peacock, people. So even if you haven't made it to the theaters, which would be nice if you see it in theaters, if you haven't made it to theaters, you can watch it on Peacock. So no excuses, no excuses. But we'll go over it. It is truly the ending arc of Laurie Strode of this 40 some odd years of Laurie and Michael Myers. And yeah, so we get a chance to see the end of that nonsense. I liked it. I'll talk about it a little bit, but I enjoyed it. Put it that way. I did enjoy it. I thought it was different. It's a different take. And I won't spoil that for anybody since it is only, been on a weekend. I won't spoil it. But it was a different take, kind of. It was very traditional and very different. If that makes sense. It probably doesn't, but it is. It's very traditional and very very different as well. That's what I liked about it because it had a different take on some things. Kind of took a different angle, but it also, in true fashion, paid homage really to the original Halloween. It also paid homage to little Easter eggs to some of the other ones in between, Halloween 2 and maybe a little bit of what was the other one? Maybe a little bit of H2O. Like it was just like somewhat. But segue for the weekend of October 14th through the 16th on boxofficemojo.com, a weekend recap. Number 5 in the box office was Amsterdam. Made only 2.8 million, but it brings that movie is now only at 11 million domestic. Wow. And 18 million worldwide. Amsterdam is that movie with a star-studded cast. I don't understand how no one went out to see this. Maybe it'll pick up. Oh, no, but it's still October. Man. I was like, maybe it'll pick up around Thanksgiving, but that's too far from now. They should have. Wow. Okay, so we'll get back to that. Number 4 on the list, The Woman King at 3.7 million, and it's now at 59.7 million domestic. Worldwide is 76 million. Another one that's very much underperforming. Loud, Loud Crocodile, which they should have never made a movie about that. That's at 26 million worldwide. They made 22 million domestic. made 7.4 million over the weekend. Smile. Now see, this is the thing. You're gonna see the horror movies pick up a little bit because it's horror season. It's October. It's the season of or the month of Halloween. So Smile made 12.6 million over the weekend, and it's now at 71 million domestic and 137 million worldwide. You see what I'm saying? This is what not only people like to go out and see horror films during October, but once again, I touched on it last week. These people knew how to promote this film. Their marketing campaign was sick, and we'll go back and tell you about it. And number one at the box office, 40.1 million over the weekend opening was Halloween Ends. Made 40 million domestic, 17 million international, 57 million worldwide in its opening weekend. I don't expect it to make a crap ton of money because it also opened it on Peacock. So, but there's your weekend recap for the weekend of October 14th through the 16th of the year 2022. So we're back here. Shout out. Let's take a quick look before I bring in my Jedi Council. Shout out to the chat room. What it do? What it do? We are continuing our tournament. This is round, I think, 5, but we now reached a different bracket. This is now the 32, the final 32 that are left. So I'm still just keeping the rounds going progressive and calling it round 5. We may try to get a couple rounds in this tonight. We'll see, depending on how early we go into it. John, what's up, man? What's up? Thank you for joining us and showing love. I know you normally in here kind of early, and we appreciate that. Joseph, you already know, always holding down the chat room and the show, and everybody else as they trickle in, come through, sit with us, chill with us, laugh with us, debate with us, whatever. It's all fam. Let me see here. Let me just get one person up here. And our girl No Nonsense too. She was I think she just celebrated a birthday. I want to shout out to her. I don't know if she'll be making it in the room today, but we want to shout out happy birthday to her. And who else? Let's see. There's a lot. I realize I know a lot of people. A lot of people in October, man, birthday wise. Shout out to my Vikings. That's right. We going into our bye week 5-1 as we beat the Miami Penguins. Miami Dolphins. Sorry. I'm just whoa. Sorry, fam. Most of my fam from Florida, they're Dolphin fans, but they was trying to play us. Our boy JJ, Justin Jefferson, when he scores a touchdown, he does his little dance, the gritty. He does the gritty. So they was trying to gritty on us. They were grittying down our sideline when they scored. So when we scored, we hit them with the little waddle. We hit them with the waddle like this, because we was calling them the Miami Penguins. So, but it's all good. We came out on top, and that's all that matters. Going into the bye week 5-1, leading our division. But anywho, shout out to the Vikings and Viking fans out there. Yeah, it's our girl No Nonsense, man. She I may put a happy birthday in there for her in case she come through. She might see it, right? Happy birthday to No Nonsense. Oh my God, that looks a little crazy. I'm just gonna put a little dash there. She know who it is. All right. Shout her out. She come through the door. Shout her out. Give her a birthday shout out. You know what I mean? And yeah, big up to Heaven Hollywood, of course, always comes through. So listen, we're gonna get our tournament going. I also want to talk about uh next week, or this week, I should say, on Thursday, I will be going to screen the well, not screen, but go see Black Adam. So that comes out this week. Pose a question here because a couple things have been happening behind the scenes. The Rock, I believe, and this is just pure theory on my end, I believe The Rock and his team is gearing up to possibly take over. What I mean by take over is DC, the cinematic universe, does not yet have a figurehead or a team of figureheads. And I believe The Rock and his team, Hiram Garcia and Danny Garcia, and himself, his team over at $7 Entertainment, or whatever, I believe they are trying to put themselves in position to take over the DCEU. And not in a hostile way, but the way that it's all going to depend on how well Black Adam does. If Black Adam does as well as I'm anticipating, and a lot of people are anticipating, and the fact that's the way that Rock is saying all the right things, I believe he's positioning himself because they've been fighting for this for over a decade. He's positioning himself, his team, to kind of be ascend to the figureheads of the DC cinematic universe that they've been searching for. I'll tell you why. But and first we're gonna. Yeah, I got knocked out. I got real sensitive. This magic mouse is very sensitive. It just threw me out the studio out of nowhere. But I'm back. So, and I brought my Jedi Council with me. Perfect segue. Want to hear him? Want to see him? Don't believe me? Here they are, Ralph. Kev, y'all's in the building.
What's up?
What up, people? Yo, so I'm gonna go right into some of the trending topics, but one being this. Okay, so I just made a statement before the Magic Mouse kicked me out. It's I believe The Rock and Dwayne Johnson and his team at $7 Entertainment or whatever are positioning themselves or trying to position themselves to take over operations on the cinematic side of DC. Reason why I'm saying this is because The Rock has been, in every one of his interviews, I've watched almost all of them. I've watched with Cinema Blend, and all of them. ET, every single one he's done, even Jimmy Fallon. He keeps pushing the fact that, well, one thing we pride ourselves over at $7 Entertainment, he keeps plugging the name, he keeps plugging his partners. He's like, what we pride ourselves over there is we listen to the fans. That's what he said. He said, we listen to the fans. He said, we feel it's important to listen to the fans. He said, and for many years now, we've been trying to get some things done with Black Adam, with, new DC characters as well as the classic DC characters. He said the old guard always told him no. Now the new regime is all for it. They're like, listen, if you can just get us back to respectability, and this is me talking, not him. I'm just saying they're saying to him in a nutshell, yes, let's finally go with it, because this new regime has been known to basically go opposite of what the other guys were doing. Because we all know it hasn't really worked like they hoped. They were making bad decisions, making too many decisions. Um, so The Rock always says in every interview he said it. We listen to the fans, and because of that, that's why this movie is here now. And he said also he made a reference to, Black Adam. We wanted to establish Black Adam as the most powerful being on the planet, and he said, but we also have the fans want to know the most powerful being in the universe has been on the sidelines for way too long. So it's time for him to, so without him trying to straight, spoil it, even though the cat's been out of the bag that Henry Cavill's going to be in Black Adam somewhere, probably in a end credit. But instead of completely spoiling, he just said, I'm going to end this note by saying, welcome home. So he basically orchestrated, because everyone's starting to ask him now, even in interviews, how much did you have to do with Henry Cavill returning to Warner Brothers to play Superman? And he's being modest about it, but we know that he orchestrated this. He was big on it. Him, his partners, the management. Remember, Henry Cavill and him had the same management, and he's been wanting this. He's been wanting this to happen. So they teased, I believe, of there's going to definitely be a showdown. It's not going to happen in the film, but it's going to be a showdown between between Black Adam and Superman. Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam versus Henry Cavill's Superman. And someone asked him a very interesting question. They said, the way the film ended, do you plan on making, going forward after that and making that happen and blah, blah, blah? He said, absolutely. Absolutely. He said, I've been saying for some time that the DC universe is shifting, it's changing. One of the ways that it's changing, other than adding new characters, is we want the fans to know that we hear them. We're listening to them. He said, now, you can't always give them exactly what they want, but at least if you let them know that we hear you. He's like, that's the ultimate thing. Perfect way to say it, I believe. As The Rock in the WWE, he was the people's champion, right? So, I mean, this guy, I believe The Rock. And my question to you is, do you believe what my theory is? I believe they're trying to position themselves to run the DCEU.
I totally agree.
Nope.
I think so.
Nope.
I totally agree. And I don't think they're trying to run. They're more so
or influence it.
They're course correcting,
influence it
to where it should have been, and putting the stamp. See, this is the good part about it. They're course correcting by going back to by going with the Snyderverse, and then you have the stamp of The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Poof, Rock.
Yeah, I know, right? Instead of wool, poof, Rock. So, I mean, yeah, I agree with that. I personally think not only he's good with influence, I think with him, this is just my opinion. The fact that he keeps plugging his partners, keeps plugging his company, keeps plugging his, these guys, management. I think he's doing that for a reason.
And on top of all of that, he had it. See, everybody thought Henry Cavill was blowing in the wind.
Mm-hmm.
They had Henry Cavill on the bench, like, just chill out. We got you.
Chill, we got you.
We got
Because remember when he said at Comic-Con there was nothing solid yet, or maybe it was he just didn't want to spill it because everybody was like, "Oh, what about Black Adam ever fighting Superman?" He said, "Well, it depends on who's playing Superman." And that was his answer. He's like, with Black Adam beat Superman, he said, "That depends on who's playing Superman." That's what he said. So,
and what I love about this,
mhm,
what I love about this is there are no smiles from The Rock. No
yeah,
smile.
yeah,
It's all
he's.
serious. It's all serious faces.
Oh, you mean as the character,
Yes,
or
like,
yeah,
like he's full on.
yeah.
Like, like
He's definitely 100%, 100% all in on the character. He's selling. He's like, yo, we really wanted to go the route of let's do something a little different. Let's go. Let's shake things up a bit. Let's disrupt things.
dare I say, he's almost pulling a Robert Downey Jr., but with Black
Mhm.
Adam.
He's just
It's what
definitely
I mean.
trying to rebirth the DCEU, and he's putting a lot of his time and influence on this, and he's just happy with the new regime because they're finally listening to him. And he said,
And
"We
all
need
and
to
all
listen to the
we got to
fans."
do.
Now let's not get it twisted. Kevin Feige in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they do make changes as we see in Black Panther. They make changes for cinematic reasons, things that make more sense to the actual story at hand. But the reason why they are successful and will continue to be successful is because they listen to the fans. They always did. And because Feige, who was on board with Marvel before they started listening to the fans, saw where their flaws were with the movies, and
Because they
now
didn't listen to the
he
source
moves
material
and
for the
does
fans.
right, and then he moves over to run his own version, his own Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he knew not to make that mistake anymore. That's why he has a panel of people that bring in the comics, that bring in the stories from the comics, and they say, how can we mold this to keep the stick to the source material as much as possible, make the changes where need to be changed, and at the same time satisfy the fans. It's been a successful formula for him. Warner Brothers have refused, the old guard refused to do that. They wanted to make their own decisions. They wanted to jump in and say, no, this movie should be under 2 hours, or this should be that,
On a
or
light.
this, that. Right. It should, or that. When they know that historically their movies are a little darker, so, but they wanted to, let's try to go the Marvel route. They felt instead of just being yourself, but following the general plan. It's not Marvel's plan. It's just common sense. It shows you they proved it already. Between Fox and Disney, they proved to you the most common sense way to go about things is to take the material, build up from there. Because as long as you stick as close as you can to the source material, you will satisfy the comic fans. And then you have the other fans who are just the fans of the franchise. You're going to satisfy them. It's easier to satisfy them. No, let me reverse that. It's actually easier to satisfy the comic fans because they don't care as much about big changes. It's just a matter of as long as it makes sense. So it has to make sense. It can't just be like, oh, you can't just like what Fox was doing. You can't just automatically, make Kitty Pryde have this power to send somebody's consciousness back in time. Where the hell that come from? You know what I'm saying? Some people are like, what? Kitty Pryde can phase through walls. That's what she does. She can't send someone else's consciousness back. But neither here nor there. Or anything else you might want to say that you saw just kind of happen and you're like, hmm? Like all of a sudden, Mystique is best friends with Charles Xavier. Like what? Like, why did y'all make that happen? Just because you didn't want you're a big star to be a villain. So you want to? I mean, you had other
No,
big
no, no.
stars.
Let's correct that. The big star didn't want to be a villain.
Right. She didn't want to be a villain. So it's like, so why'd you join?
Wait a minute. I gotta correct that too, because at the time Jennifer Lawrence wasn't a big star. She was just a girl. She
No,
wasn't.
no, she was still a big star. She had already did the Hunger Games. She
No,
had already did the Hunger Games.
no, she
Yeah.
did not.
She
No,
did.
go
What are you talking
go
about?
back.
She already did. Yes, she did.
when
She already did the first 2 Hunger Games.
no, she did not.
Before she
No,
did X-Men Days of
first
Future Past.
no, before she did
She wasn't in
X-Men
First Class. Was
She
she?
is
She
in
was
First
in Days.
Class.
Okay,
She
First
is.
Class, and then she did Days of Future Past, right?
But I'm talking about when she was in First Class, she wasn't a big star then. She was not. Hunger Games had not come out. She didn't get popular till after Hunger Games come out. And now when Days of Future Past came out, I want to sit there and say yes, Hunger Games did come out. I think the first one came out, but when First Class came out, she wasn't no big star.
Yes,
That came
she
out.
did.
No, she wasn't. That
I
came out
don't know about
that
that.
came out in 2011. I know exactly where I was at. It came out in 2011. Hunger Games, and you can look it up. See when the first Hunger Games movie came out. It hadn't come out yet. That's right. We're gonna get ready to rumble in a while.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. Today will
By the
forever
way.
be known as Cutthroat Mondays from now on.
Yeah, right. Cutthroat Monday.
But
yeah, regardless, well, whatever the case may be, and I'll look that up, but whatever the case may be, the point is those are the type of changes that comic fans get mad at. The ones that just don't make sense. All right. So
well, I'm gonna say it differently. I'm on your 2 points. The second point about the changes, it's easier to make comic fans happy. I'm gonna say that's a no. The regular movie going fans, because regular movie going fans only interested in the story, and they may not have the knowledge of what the comic book did. So if a change was made, they wouldn't know. The comic book fans, those are the nitpickers. Like if you change how many times are you going on about how Bruce Wayne's parents got killed? You've seen it 3 different times. It wasn't until the third time you say, okay, that's the right one. Despite what you already saw, that was the right one. So I'm gonna say comic book fans, you really gotta please them. But to that first question about The Rock, this is why I'm going to sit there and say no. And I'm only going to say no for one reason, is that The Rock is far too busy. Now, if he want to make if The Rock didn't have anything else going on beside movies, because you didn't
listen to my question.
No,
you didn't listen to my statement. I didn't just say The Rock. I said his
what you
team.
But
team.
But I'm putting The Rock in his team again. Remember, The Rock and his team got the XFL coming out next March. They got to deal with that. And then whatever other projects he still got on the table, they still got to deal with that.
He's been putting this together for 15 years.
Exactly. So would Warner Brothers
listen,
hold on, Kevin.
Watch what happens when the numbers come in. That's going to be the bottom line. When the numbers come in this week, watch what happens.
Right.
Watch
you're right. But
you tired of the bullshit.
Kevin, be quiet a second. You're right about that. You're right about that. You're right about that.
And you talk about he ain't got the time. He got the time.
He spent 15 years on it. It looks like he got time to me.
That's what I'm saying. If you want to look at it that way, he has spent 15 years. Because you keep talking. Be quiet a second.
So you're saying
wait a minute. What I was getting ready to say is that The Rock, and I'm including his team, they got a bunch of other things on the plate. Now, if The Rock said, you know what, I want to have more voice in what Warner Brothers does, not DC, Warner Brothers, where I can really make some serious change.
Listen, it ain't got nothing to do with Warner Brothers. He's doing this for DC. This is a
but DC is not a standalone company by itself. It's Warner Brothers that owns DC. So if the question was, do you think Rock is positioning himself and his team to have an advisory role with Warner Brothers to enact real change for DC? I might sit there and say, yeah, I could go with that
same
thought.
Thing as well. It's pretty much the same thing because there's a vacancy at the DCEU, right? There's no figureheads, right?
Exactly. But once
one of the problems they have.
But once again, here's the thing: will The Rock be sitting? Will The Rock, because that wouldn't be his team. That would really be him as the figurehead. Will he
No,
sit
I
there and
don't
say, "Okay,
believe
I got
that.
all these other things"?
I believe he's the reason why he keeps plugging his team, Ralph. These are you. I've never heard these people's names more than this press run that he's been doing with Black Adam. He never on his press runs, he'll thank them and big them up. But he in every single press run of this movie, he is plugging, not just bigging them up, not shouting them out. He's plugging them. He's letting the people know that they had influence on the decisions with him. You know, we want to do this, we want to do that. This is what we do. Me, Hiram, Danny,
I get all that, but the same way, like the only person I really know he ever really plugged too much when he's done his various things is his ex-wife Danny. He's always plugging Danny, right?
So that's his manager.
That's his manager. That's the ex-wife. The ex-wife.
That's
manager.
Ex-wife
and the ex-wife. Right.
She's part
but
of
what
the team.
I'm sitting here saying is this: when it comes to that particular question, like Rock was, if he would, let's just sit there and say for a second, he was going to take the position that Kevin Feige has for Marvel. That's Dwayne. Dwayne would be, and I can't call him Rock. I got to call him Dwayne. Dwayne would be the figurehead, right? He'd be the figurehead. Nobody would be calling to his team. They would be going to him, and he would take it to his team. So when I'm sitting to say, as for certain things, I say everything else. Would The Rock be willing to take a step back from all the other things that he's got going on to take a more leadership role for DC? Because in essence, he's taking a leadership role for Warner Brothers, because that's part of Warner Brothers.
Putting this together for 15 years.
Exactly. So if he's been putting together for 15 years,
this has been a passion project.
For 15 years.
Project for him.
Would you say? So let me ask you this then, Ralph. Would you say that within the last 15 years, hasn't The Rock been kind of busy?
He's been extremely busy.
Okay.
He pulled off a whole goddamn movie,
and he's still stuck with this, right? You don't do that just to make one movie and be out. You do that to continue.
I totally agree with that.
The Rock,
I totally agree with that.
Now, if he's gonna be now, here's the deal. They're gonna have to handle this almost completely different way than Marvel, because Marvel is going with they put Kevin Feige, they appointed him for who he is, right? He is also, he is who he is. He's also the face and all, everyone knows you go to Kevin Feige. I believe The Rock is positioning this as a team thing. And yes, of course, you want to call him the figurehead. He's the ambassador. He'll be the ambassador, so to speak.
I can go with that.
You know what I mean? But it's they have a team, Ralph. It's not hard for him to still do the other things that he has planned to do.
Like Robert Downey Jr. Like Robert Downey Jr. was the ambassador for the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, he was pretty much the ambassador for everybody. Everybody kind of went through him. I mean, we know that Feige. It doesn't down anything. We know Kevin Feige is the man.
But what I was about to say with that one, with Robert Downey Jr. is that although Robert Downey Jr., if you want to say he was the ambassador, and I would grant that for Marvel, Robert Downey Jr. is nowhere near as busy as Dwayne Johnson is.
No, he's not.
He's not.
Isn't.
What does it matter? What does it matter?
It does matter.
But it's busy. But Ralph, you're like this. This is what he says. Okay, you talking about the XFL stuff like that? Okay, fine. Once again, The Rock is that personality, right? So he's gonna always be the ambassador for something. But movies are planned years in advance, so he could very well plan other movies and still be involved with the DCEU, meaning his team kind of call, whatever. I don't say they're gonna call shots or if they're gonna be influences. I'm not sure, but they're definitely going to be a big influence. Because, like I said, I made this decision.
I'm cool with that part. Cool.
I made this decision based on that last interview I watched. And the person basically told them, because they've already seen the movie, they saw the end credits. They was like, so based on this end credit scene, do you plan on producing? That was the word they used. Do you plan on producing the film that may that may follow this whole end credit scene? Going forward with these characters? He said, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But see,
Producing, Ralph, if you are a producer, you are running it. You're calling the shots.
Well,
That's
I mean,
what I'm saying.
beyond the director, yeah.
No,
But,
producer. Producer's higher than the director. Producer is higher than the director. The producer hires the director. that's how it works.
I think that depends who the director is.
No, Ralph, wait. I want to get into this thing.
All I was saying was simply
let's establish for the audience.
No,
always the producer is higher than the director, unless the producer is the director. That's the only other way.
No,
there's never, ever, ever, ever a director. I don't care if you're Steven Spielberg. If you did not produce that film, the producer is higher than you.
So what you're saying with, like, I'm glad you said Steven Spielberg. So you say on the films where Steven Spielberg is simply the director, like Raiders of the Lost Ark, you're saying that George Lucas was
his boss. Yes, George Lucas was his boss for that film. If he did not produce it with George Lucas, he just directed it. Then George Lucas for that film was the boss. That's always the hierarchy. Producer and everybody else under there. Director.
That's fine. But all I'm sitting there saying is this. I agree with what the both of you said. If Dwayne is going to be a serious influencer for DC, I sit there and say, yeah. But is he going to be in that position as the DC's version of Feige? I'm thinking and saying no, but simply because of the fact that he's too busy to really sit there and focus on strictly turning that entire
who
thing
are you,
around.
Ralph? Who are any of us to tell him he's too busy to do anything?
He's already started turning it around. Ben Affleck is already getting ready to get signed back on. Henry Cavill is already getting ready to have another Superman deal.
This is what I'm saying. These are all because of him.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
And the question
I am not disagreeing with any of that stuff. I give it to him. But is that not influence? Is that not influence?
It's more than influence, because if he goes on, let's just say he produces Man of Steel 2.
You're going too far, because you can't until you actually hear that.
Bro, I'm just telling you, she asked him the question. Would you be willing to produce? I'm telling you, it came out of his mouth.
I heard the same thing.
Absolutely.
But until you actually,
why are you even saying anything if you heard the same
thing?
Because
that wasn't the question. That wasn't the question. The question was, do you think that he has positioned his team to have a leadership role for DC? And I said, as an influencer, I am totally yes.
Ralph, this is what you did with this whole thing. You took it from team to being about The Rock. And it's
I didn't.
Team.
I did not. I did not. I said
roll back the tape.
Roll back the tape. I said that point. Like I said, I was including the team with The Rock because they are too busy. Because I even said that the XFL, he's got that. He's got his other movie projects on hold that he's doing. I said, what I sit to say, if you want to sit there and say,
don't you think he has a team? Don't you think there are teams for each division of everything that he's doing? Especially if he put 15 years, and I'm going to keep iterating that. 15, nobody puts in 15 years into something and
just to let it go.
Just to let it go.
And not try to be a significant voice or significant person.
Once again, you guys didn't hear what I said. I'm not discounting the 15 years. First of all, Warner Brothers, and now I'm gonna say this part: Warner Brothers can't afford to wait another 15 years. They can't even really wait 10 years. They really need something done in, like, I'm gonna be honest, maybe 3 years. Maybe 3 years. Maybe 3 years.
What channel are you watching right now? What channel are you watching?
That Warner Brothers, that DC doesn't really need to get the ball going well in the next 3 years. They really can sit back another 15 or 10 to 15 years to get the ball rolling.
Rolling with Black Adam. What are you talking about?
Bro, that's
he
one.
keeps
That's
generating that.
that's one film. And Kevin, I agree with what you
That's
said.
the point of him. That's the point.
But my
taking position.
But my thing is, what I'm trying to say is this one, right? Is that DC is not in a position to sit back and wait another 15 years.
Okay, we
right,
all know
to
that.
get it rolling. So really, what I said, realistically
Here's,
speaking,
Ralph. Here's what they said, Ralph. Here's what they said. Out of God, because the dude's name escapes me at the moment, but the head of Discovery, Warner Brothers Discovery, said, I want to do a 10-year plan, meaning they want to put movies out within the next 10 years.
10 years.
Or movies structured within the next 10 years.
That's not waiting 10 years. That's not.
But what
it's not waiting 10 years, right? Because you're starting your.
But that is not
plan.
But that is not what I said.
You
what
said
I said
15,
was that, No. What I said was
they
can't afford. Warner Brothers cannot afford another 15 years. They really need to get the ball rolling in 3 years. 3 years.
But the ball starts now.
The ball
about 15
okay,
years.
that's fine. That's fine. If you want to sit there and say Black Adam gets the ball going, I'm cool with that.
That's what it is.
Now,
now
after that, you still got a bunch of other stuff that's now because of other factors.
Yeah.
Sitting back like, wait a minute, I don't know. The only thing that you know for a fact is maybe Shazam 2 might be pretty good.
No, wrong. And I don't even care about Shazam. We already know.
We know that's coming out. We know Aquaman is coming out.
But that is not what I said. That's not once again. That's not what I said.
I'm
just trying to understand where you're going with this. Okay, you keep saying that we already know that they can't wait another 15 years. They're not waiting.
What I said was they got to get the ball rolling in 3 years. You said Black Adam is the first.
So my answer to that is Black Adam starts the ball,
and that's what I said.
And they have slate of movies set up.
No. Forget the slate. They got to produce. They got to produce. We can look.
Well, you won't know if they produce until the movies come out. Right?
Exactly. That's part of my point.
No, but this is where your point doesn't make sense, Ralph, because you
guys keep interjecting.
No, I'm not interjecting. I'm just trying to tell you it's not making sense because you're saying that they can't wait. They need to get the ball rolling within 3 years. I just told you that this is the ball rolling, right? Black Adam. So then wait 1 second, Kev, and then once that goes, they have a slate of movies right after that. That's the proverbial ball rolling right? That's what it is. And now none of us have the answers until they all come out as far as their numbers go. But they at least have a plan, right? That's what I mean by you have
never heard me sit there and say in this conversation right now. You have never heard me sit there and say
what do y'all got to go at a time?
Movie already tested positive by a focus group.
Right.
We're not going to get back on that thing. We're not going to get back on that thing.
I mean, like I said, Ralph, here's the deal.
But wait,
I never said that you said that.
Wait, what I'm sitting there saying, when I said the 3 years thing, if I can actually finish my thought, right, is that they have to be able to produce. The movies got to come out and they got to do well, right? If the movies come out and they do so-so or poor, then your plan doesn't really matter anymore.
When you use the term produce, are you saying produce as in produce revenue or
revenue like money?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about produce? Because Wes was talking about we both were talking about two different forms of producing.
But that's the problem, Kevin, is that while I'm keep sitting there trying to explain my thought, you keep interjecting and then the thought gets all diluted. So you're thinking I'm saying one thing when I'm not even saying anything. Because you keep saying, it doesn't make sense. But if you would pause a second and let the black man finish what he's saying, maybe then it would have made sense.
Man, finish what you're saying, black man. Go ahead. I apologize. You're right. I stepped all over you. I'm a bad actor. I apologize.
Right? What I was because I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at this strictly by Warner Brothers, right? Warner Brothers doesn't have the best track, right? They don't. They haven't. Traditionally, they haven't. So
the old guard is
that's the old guard.
there you go
New
again. There
regime.
you go again. Right.
New
The old
regime.
regime.
Go ahead.
The
didn't
old regime.
Didn't old guard get fired to get the boot, and we're starting off fresh
So
with a
okay,
whole new company?
you're right, Kevin. You're right about that one. But as of right now, even with Black Adam about to hit on Friday, it hasn't come out yet. The old guard is what you go by as what the
No,
traditionally
you don't.
had.
No, you don't. You go by what's in front of you at the moment. And
I
if
don't
we
agree with
and if
that.
we want to go by what's
Wait a
in
minute.
front of us
Wait,
at the moment,
wait. Time out. Time out a second. Time out a
What's your
second.
point?
Now I'm gonna be good. Like because I've been watching. I mean, we all saw games yesterday, right? We all saw football yesterday. Your Vikings won, the Giants won, Cowboys lost. When these so-called analysts, sport reporters, when they start talking about teams, what's the one thing they go to? They go to what your team did last year. Even though
this ain't football.
exactly, this isn't football, right? What I'm sitting there saying is this: traditionally, when it comes to the DC movies, Warner Brothers does not have the best track record. They may have a good track record on certain sales, like the Batman, Christopher Nolan's, very successful, right? But then,
you're 100% right. But my point is, right now, out the gate, Black Adam has already gotten positive reviews. Out the gate, Flashpoint has already got positive reviews from a focus group. The board was about to shut down everything. If it wasn't for that focus group, and if it wasn't for the head of DC Warner Brothers saying, no, this is what we're doing. This is what happened with the focus group. We already spent money on this. This other stuff that we're doing, Batgirl, and all this other stuff is not in line with this. The quality is not on the same level as this. So we're dropping that and we're going with this.
Okay.
Ralph, all right. So bottom line is this.
No, you know
what you're saying. What you're saying is not wrong. What you're saying is not wrong. You're sitting here saying. So what you're doing
I need to see
is
proof.
You're making.
You need to have proof.
You need to have proof. All right.
You need to have proof.
But this is my answer to that. You need to have proof. I don't know what that means because the fact of the matter is you're taking stuff and using that as an excuse, which still doesn't go back to your original point of they got to get the ball rolling within 3 years. That I don't understand. I still don't understand how those connect. I'm going
to say this one last time. When I sit there and say that they need the ball rolling 3 years, you're going to need to have at least 3 years of successful films, profitable making films.
That's all you have to say, Ralph.
Which is what I kept trying to say. But
you just said that in 4 sentences. And it took you a whole paragraph.
Wes, guess what? Every time I keep trying to say that, I keep getting interrupted, and then it goes to another tangent. How many times have I said? I've actually said that three separate times. That and then you say I gotta see proof because traditionally Warner Brothers does not have the best track record, and they don't, and you can't deny that one, right? Okay. So if Black Adam comes out Friday, and we're gonna use it if it comes out Friday and it is massively successful. That's
and what? Okay, so what is your interpretation of successful?
I think Black
How much
Adam
money does Black Adam need to make?
I think it needs to gross at least 175, 200 million domestic. At least that.
Okay.
And then Shazam comes out. Now the first Shazam did about 150. It got to do a little better than that one. Do a little better than that. But then
the one thing you got to remember is we're in a recovering pandemic, so people ain't in the movie theaters like they were before. So those numbers aren't going to do that.
Kev, wait. You're saying that you had a movie that come out this summer called Taco, and they're taking almost $1.6 billion. So
yeah, Ralph, over the course of like 5 months.
Well, I wait. Did you hear me say it had to take in $200 million the first weekend? I didn't say that.
I can't.
So long as you feel, let's say $200 million, that's considered a success.
I would think that was a success.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's successful I think that's successful during the pandemic numbers or
Okay,
whatever.
so
I
all
would
right,
actually, to be honest with you, I have the bar a little higher for me for it to be. That's what I'm thinking. But I understand with the other factors in. But I think it will do that. I think it's gonna do over that only
I
because
I
you know
do I do as
they've done
well.
really good promoting this film.
I
They've done
I
you
do as
know.
well. However, if let's say Black Adam takes in 200 million, if Shazam comes out next, I think it's next March, and it does in somewhere similar numbers to what it did, that's another good piece. Now, so because that's the two things. Now you got to come up with something else. So if let's say that Flashpoint,
Aquaman is on the slate.
all right,
Aquaman is
but
on the slate.
I don't think
Aquaman 2.
Aquaman is till next December. I think I'm not sure about that one. But in between, so if you put out Black Adam does 200 million plus, and then you got Shazam does 150 million plus, and then you put another film out. Let's say they did drop that Flashpoint movie or the Flash movie, and that was successful. Then okay,
Mm-hmm.
now you see the ball is really going. But if it comes out and
Mm-hmm.
you get Black Adam does well, and then Shazam does
Mm-hmm.
well, but then the Flash movie, let's say that comes out and it stalls, or for some reason Aquaman comes out and it stalls, that would that
Mm-hmm.
not throw a monkey wrench into your 10-year plan?
No,
I think
because
I think it would.
no, because it
Uh,
didn't throw a monkey wrench in Marvel's Infinity Saga plan when Thor Dark World didn't pan out good, or when Iron Man 3 didn't turn out good. Hell, people didn't even like Iron Man 2. A lot of people didn't like it. It did good at the theaters, but a lot of people didn't like it. But it didn't throw a monkey wrench in the plan. The boat kept rolling because there was a goal. There was an end goal.
Plan, right? There's an end
Right,
goal, right? Or end game.
right. But Kev, you used the right word when you said financially it did well. If people may not have all liked it, but financially it certainly did very well. But I'm quite sure if people didn't like it and Iron Man 2 grossed $60 million, that would have threw a big monkey wrench into into Marvel's plans.
No, it wouldn't.
Because at the end of the day, it is tied into money.
You know what,
I mean,
Ralph?
yeah, but they wouldn't have stopped. That wouldn't have stopped them, Ralph, because
No,
they had
what it
other
was.
movies that they were already shooting by the time Iron Man 2 came out. You gotta remember, think about the process of movie making. All right, so you know about that, right? Let's not get away from that. So the fact of the matter is, when Iron Man 2 is released, they were already shooting, Hulk and all these other movies. They were shooting other movies. So if Iron Man 2 would have flopped, they wouldn't have stopped production on their other movies. They would have kept going.
You're right. You're right about that. But wait a minute. But now think like this: what if Iron Man 2 would have flopped? Then Captain America would have flopped, and then Thor would have flopped. Do you not think that if you had three or four movies that did poor,
would that not throw a monkey wrench into your plan? I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said
3 or 4 in a row. I guess so. Maybe it's
Wes,
possible.
No, Wes. You know what? I'm glad you said that. You're absolutely right. And you know what they did when Shane Black screwed up Iron Man 3? They brought in the Russo brothers to do Winter Soldier after the Captain America movie.
Yeah.
And then you see what happened. The rest
right. That's what I'm saying. So it's not all. It goes through a lot of. There's a lot of factors involved when you're talking about laying out a plan. And yes, this guy who runs DC or runs Warner Brothers has already proven that he's going to go the course correct route. Like he's going, like he said. He knows that this is a fact. I don't care what anybody say about DC's track record. Their core trilogy character, their trinity, is always been their money makers. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. They had a lot of movies, but we're gonna go with those core. Now, when The Rock comes in, and now they're kind of throwing another thing in the mix with Black Adam, a character who wasn't a main character at first, and he's introducing a lot of characters that some may and may not know with the Justice Society of America, right? Rock has said out of his own mouth, the point of this movie is to shift course and start bringing in movies pretty much based off of what happens in this movie. That's basically, but with keeping the same core people that he had, like Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, and all of them. They're not going nowhere. Gal Gadot, that other woman I think she's on like Wonder Woman 4 or something like that. Like, which I wish she would go, but that's besides the point. They're gonna be there's potentially a Wonder Woman 4 in development now. They've already written Wonder Woman 3. So now we already know about Aquaman 2 is coming out, and that comes out in 2023. I'm not sure where they pushed it back to. I'm trying to look at the date for it. What date did they push it back to? That's next year, right?
Once again, I keep saying this. I'm fine. I just said that for me, I actually need to see that. I mean, I like to talk.
What?
I like to talk. I like to talk that the
well,
man.
The first Aquaman. How much did the first Aquaman make? It made pretty good money.
It made really good. It made really good money, right?
Yeah.
But
okay,
but once again, I'm going to kind of start that in with Snyder, because that was a Snyder project, right? So I'm going to throw that one in there. Same thing with the Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad.
That didn't. No.
It was Suicide Squad.
Oh man, Jason Momoa was used from
the Snyderverse. So that's why I got thrown that with Snyder. That's why I got thrown that with Snyderverse, right? The same thing.
So that made 335 million domestic and 808 worldwide. It made over $1 billion.
Those are damn good numbers. Damn good numbers, right?
Right. So what leads you to believe that Aquaman 2 won't do good?
You never heard me sit to say Aquaman 2.
I didn't say that you said that, but you're saying I gotta see it. Well, you've seen it. I just brought the numbers up, right? You say you're going off of analytics. You're going off of the past, right?
Right. We go
the past tells us that
but
Aquaman made $1 billion.
I'm gonna put it like this. This is Warner Brothers, right? Look, one of their other core franchises, the Harry Potter franchise, and maybe not Harry Potter, but specifically this new one with the Dumbledore thing. Look at how the numbers keep going down, right? So when you guys are saying, well, because it's a DC film, if you think it's going to be recession proof or money proof, that ain't a guarantee. It's not a guarantee.
Recession proof.
So now listen. So now I'm gonna say this again. If we were having this conversation 2 years later, Black Adam came out and it killed. Shazam came out and it killed. Aquaman 2 came out and it killed. You had The Flash came out and it killed. Then guess what? Now your track record has changed. You have proven that the stuff the man said he meant, and it got backed up. But for this second, you don't have that because under the new leadership of Warner Brothers, you haven't had any DC films come out, unless you want to count that DC Pets. You haven't had that yet. And to my knowledge, Black Adam has not been released as of today. So that what I said I need to see that. Okay, so now you just said Black Adam, Shazam, and Aquaman. If those three come out, then I wouldn't even be having a discussion, because now your track record has proven that what you say you're going to do, that you're caring about the fans, we want to give you quality, we want to put everything into it, you've done. But right now, you got a couple of strikes in there because you got rid of the Batgirl movie, right? Your Flash project, although that's not really Warner Brothers' fault. That's not Warner Brothers' fault, but that is a big problem coming up down the line, right? And
again, so that's not a big problem if the focus group said that that's one of the best DC movies that they've seen.
Wait a minute.
It was one of the highest focus group rated out of all the DC movies. That was the highest.
I'm gonna stop this.
It tested the highest.
I'm gonna just ask this question: How many times have us as movie going fans, right? Forget comic book movies, fun. If you see these commercial movies and it says it tested so great, it's a 9 out of 10. Is this, and this? And when it come out, like the movie out right now that's number 5 in this week's thing, I bet if you go back, people start, hey, look at the cast. It probably tested good, but it's a bomb. It's a bomb. Amsterdam, it's a bomb.
Right.
Right.
It's a
So
bomb. It's a bomb. Wait.
Amsterdam is
It's a bomb.
Amsterdam
It is a
bomb.
bomb.
It's a bomb.
Financially, it's a bomb.
It is
Yeah,
a
it's
bomb.
It didn't make no money.
It ain't making
It
no
didn't make
money.
no money. It's not
Right?
making no
But
money.
it's got this
well-
it's got this super studded cast. It's gotten all these raised critics. I believe it was at the Cannes Film Festival. It was all this stuff. But it's a bomb. Right. So that's why I don't really have too much thing of confidence in focus groups, because focus groups, right?
No, listen.
The focus group doesn't put money into
two things, Ralph. You're confusing two goddamn things. The first thing, yes, you are. The focus group is not about money. The focus group is the type of film. Just because a film bombs financially doesn't mean it's a bad film. People are just not going to the goddamn movies. I'm in the movies every fucking week, and there's nobody in the movie theater with me.
But Cat, wait. When that statement you just said, are you saying that as the film person, or are you saying that as someone that represents and puts money into films from Warner Brothers? Because I bet you if you were that person on Warner Brothers or the Bill Financer and said, wait a minute, we just kicked out $80 million for this movie, right? And that's before promotion, but this thing ain't made but $7 million, but it's still a good movie. You may well say it's a good movie, but ain't nobody going to see it. How are we going to get our $80 million back?
And let me explain something to you. I'm just making the clarity. I'm making the clarity of the point, because you're twisting what just was said. I'm making the clarity of the point.
I didn't twist one damn thing.
You did, Ralph. You did. But we know how you do things.
The reason why Warner Brothers put the focus group numbers out there is because this new regime already said that they want to focus on quality more than quantity. They're not going to put out a crap ton of movies that suck. They want to make sure they'd rather put out less movies that are great than pump out a bunch of movies that are bad or just okay.
I agree.
So that's the only reason why they bought they released the numbers of the test group, right?
Now I want to ask this real logical question. The focus group came in and saw The Flash and said it gave it the highest rated movie in the history of Warner Brothers, right? That's what you guys said.
Well, it was like they said the highest rated since The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. But that's okay. The highest rated since The Dark Knight for all the Warner Brothers movies. I'm still not in agreeing with that one, but okay. But you
have no proof to prove it otherwise, Ralph. So you can't just say I don't agree. That's not fair.
That's part of the point. That's my point. It wasn't like they said this thing last week. The movie came out on Friday and just made a crap ton of money. Right now, you have The Flash is not coming out till sometime 2023. It's a big gap. If they would have put out like last week, they would have had the previews for Black Adam, and it came out this Friday. Now it's a different story. Now you can say, well, the focus group got it right. It was that great because
we're not saying that they got it right. We're just saying what
we can't say that we got it wrong. It's a big ass question.
Right. It's a big ass question. This is my last thing I'm going to say on this. You brought up analytics. You brought up the past, right? And that's how you determine the track records, right? The only film out of these slate of films that doesn't have a quote unquote track record is Black Adam, but Shazam has a track record.
Yes,
Aquaman has a track record. They both made well over $300 million. So why are you still so skeptical, being that based on your knowledge, based on your logic, these movies did well. So what's to say they won't do well again? Based on your logic.
But
this is your logic.
But that's the entire what you're right. That is my logic. But that's what I keep saying, right? The track record, right? You have no way of knowing under this new regime because I still count all that stuff.
But this doesn't make it's the same. But it's the same characters. It's the same director from the last film. They bringing back the same formula that they won with.
Okay.
So why is it fair for you to say that it's not?
So I'll put it like this because I didn't say it was unknown. When I said we need to see results, because Warner Brothers has been
We've
very
seen
good.
results based on your logic. We've seen results.
Well, on that logic, we could sit there and say that, yeah, you know, you had Justice League came out and it did about $500 million.
I didn't say Justice League.
Right?
I didn't say we're not talking about Justice League, right?
But we're not. But how many times have I said I'm considering those films under the Snyder stuff?
I understand that, but
right.
I'm not talking. I'm talking about Shazam. That wasn't under the Snyderverse, even though the Snyderverse. See, this is the thing. The Snyderverse is canon to all of these movies, so you can't. As much as I love Zack Snyder, you can't give all that credit to him about their success, because even though Snyderverse was canon in Shazam, it had really nothing to do with the Snyderverse. It was nothing complete.
Okay.
Completely
all right,
removed from
all
it.
right, I'm cool. All right. What I'm saying is this: is that if the next two come out, and I don't know if they're going to be successful or not, but I said if they are as successful as the first one, now you have reestablished. You got Black Adam, bomb. Bomb, good, successful. You got Shazam 2 comes out and makes more than what it first did, successful.
Right.
You got Aquaman comes out, make equal or more than what it did, successful. What I said was if those two come out, Black Adam does well, but Shazam 2 comes out and it doesn't do as well as the first one. Aquaman 2 comes out and it doesn't do as well as the first one. I think those would be serious. And then you got the Flash project that who knows what they're going to do with that one eventually. Right? You do have now you got some X's in there. And I think that does throw a monkey wrench into your 10-year plan. Well, maybe you got to re-jostle it around. Now with that, wait, before you go. Now, with that being said, I'm throwing this out there. Then maybe now you do, if you have those three come out, maybe you say, you know what, we're seeing the numbers for Shazam and Aquaman. Maybe we need to hurry up and do Man of Steel 2, right? Or somehow convince Affleck to come back and do another Batman movie. Whether it's somehow, I think you have to start re-jostling your plan, because the plan that you had set out, you can see maybe it doesn't look like it's working.
So let me just update you. Okay, they've already reached out to Ben Affleck. That came from a report from the guy, you know, I forget his name, Zaslav, the guy who's running Warner Brothers now. They've already reached out to Ben Affleck. They've already brought him back in film. He's in Aquaman. He's in Aquaman too, right?
See, I don't want to. I mean,
you don't want to what? He was on set with Jason Momoa. He's in the film.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had that's my fault. I'm thinking Black Adam.
Right.
That's
no, not Black Adam. No, Henry Cavill's in Black Adam. We know that he's in Black Adam. As Superman, and also there's going to. That's what we talk. That's what we keep going back to The Rock, because his original conversation sparked from how much influence The Rock and his team is going to have. Because if this movie does well financially, you already know they're going to start spinning off the Justice Society characters.
Yes,
they're going to spin off their characters. Hawkman is a very old character that they could very well spin off if they wanted to, or just the Justice Society in its own. Remember, in chronological order, Justice Society came before the Justice League, so they can always spin that off because that's a prequel movie. That's something that they can make a timepiece. But neither here nor there. My point is, they probably will have more movies in the slate than just Aquaman, The Flash, and Shazam. After Black Adam, there'll be other movies. I mean, plus they still got Blue Beetle. They still got other movies in the slate, but more movies will spark from this. And the whole point of this conversation, and then we'll move on to the tournament. The whole point of this conversation, when I said was, you obviously don't agree that The Rock is going to, because you think for some reason, I don't know if you've been looking at his planner. I don't know if you've been looking at his planner, or you've been talking to his secretary. You think for some reason he's too busy to run. I mean, he's been a little busy. He's been more than a little busy for the last 15 years, but he's been able to carry the torch for this film
and doing on top of all that.
Right. And then being able to do all of that, right? And still doing what he's doing, right? I don't think it's up to any of us to determine The Rock is too busy to do anything, because I see The Rock turning up all over the place. Yeah, he's too busy, but you may think he was too busy to do that. You may think he was too busy to do that. If you want to do it, and you have the opportunity to do it, you're going to make time for it. That's that. I don't believe anybody's too busy for nothing. If you want to do something, right? Now, I agreed with you about Abrams. Remember when you first said that? The first time you said someone was probably too busy was when you said Abrams. And I went with you on that. I agreed with you on that. But what I'm saying is Abrams, that's because Abrams is just all over the place anyway. The Rock has a passion to make real decisions in the direction of the DCEU. He's made that 100% clear. And then when he was asked if he would produce what will then come after this based on the end credit scene. Now we all know, for the most part, we know that he is going to face off somehow with Superman in the end credit scene. So that question about will you produce going forward what comes after this? And he said absolutely yes. Absolutely. Meaning that could be Man of Steel 2. That could be, a part 2 to Black Adam or a Justice Society movie, or whatever it goes. The bottom line is he said definitively, absolutely yes. Producer. When you are a producer, I reiterate this, that means you are a shot caller. You're the producer. Period. So that's what I'm saying. That
Right.
And the fact, and the only reason why I keep saying his team is because he's always bigged up his ex-wife / manager, right? Which is Danny, right? But it's different from bigging them up and straight plugging them. He's plugging them every opportunity he gets. I've watched about 9 interviews of that cast, and every one of them he says the same thing. Me, my team over at $7, Danny and Hiram, myself, we've been working on it. Danny has been putting in, Hiram 7 years, Danny 7 years, me 15 years, right? This, that, and the other. And he keeps talking about, and he keeps reiterating, we want to change the culture of what goes on in the DCEU. They want to change the culture. These are words that he used, came out of his mouth. And he said, and one of those changes that we want to establish is that we listen to the fans. He keeps putting this, he keeps saying this. You go to every interview he said it almost in every interview. We listen to the fans. We want the fans to know that we hear them. And we want that to be, going forward, something that is considered when it comes to making films going forward, right? So this is what he said. You don't make statements like that if you don't plan on taking some sort of power position in this thing. Because you can't just do that. You can't do that if you're going to be Mr. I'm too busy to rock all over the place doing that. You don't make those statements if you know, and he knows how busy he is. You don't make statements like that, in my opinion, unless you have some sort of plan that, and I believe that plan is going to all really determine on how good Black Adam does. We've already established not just how good the movie is. That's one part of the decision. Because no matter what you say, right, well received, but also, yes, money is always the big part of the decision. It's bottom line, right? But also part of that decision is this film good? Is it going to shoot us in the direction that we want to go in? So now that Black Adam and Superman came face to face, now everyone is going to want to see. That's why he did it that way. And that's why he keeps saying we listen to the fans. Everyone's going to want to see Black Adam and Superman face off. That's not going to happen in this film. So I'm telling y'all right now, I ain't seen it yet. They will not fight in this film because that doesn't make sense.
Sure. Yeah,
I mean, financially,
why
it don't make
waste it?
sense.
Yeah,
why waste it? Put it in another movie and make everybody come and watch it then.
Now,
so
you know what would be cool though, if they do meet at the very end of the movie and like Rocky. Remember Rocky 3 when they both went to go punch each other? If they got ready to punch each other and it fade out.
I can see that. I can see that happening. I can see them.
That would be cool.
Charging towards each other, and it cuts to black.
Each other. Yeah.
Right. I can see them charging towards each other. I can see them. I read somewhere. He says something like, "Nobody on this planet can stop me." That's a line in the movie, and I did read somewhere that somewhere around Henry Cavill. I don't know his lines exactly, but they said, he says something like, "Well, you've been something like, you've been in the news lately," or something like that. Like, he basically comes to him and says something lighthearted like that, where it's like, haven't we been a little problem lately? You know what I mean? Because so yeah, I can see them. That's the furthest it'll go if they charge towards each other, and then it cuts to black. I can see that.
Yeah,
that'll give people even more hype.
That'd be good. Yeah. I'm cool with that.
So yeah, but anyway,
like I'm sitting here. I'm looking at this thing for $7 Productions of what they got planned, and it looks like Rock is in all this stuff. 2 more Red Notice movies, a movie called John Henry and the Stateman, and a Jungle Cruise sequel, the Keenan Lowe Project, which is about football, another Jumanji movie, another San Andreas movie, another Hobbs and Shaw. It takes a film called It Takes Two, an untitled Kate Warren film, which I don't know what that is. That's just feature film. TV, he got a TV series called Muscle Beach coming in development, a wrestling sitcom in development, a series called Last Resort in development, another one called Tree. I don't even know what the hell this is. It says Tree, TRECNT in development, a podcast, the XFL, short films, and still got the current TV show Young Rock going on. That sounds like a lot of stuff that the Rock got.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, though, Ralph. I mean, there's a lot, but how productions are planned out years ahead of time. I mean, 50 Cent has 11 series in production, but he still manages. No. Don't say he's not.
Is he in all 11? Is he in
no,
all 11?
He's not in all 11, but that doesn't matter. The point is, you as a producer, you're gonna have your hand. Good producers do have their hands in a lot of projects, and you're acting like making. Remember, he has a team. Making calls or running the DCEU requires him to sit in an office and not go nowhere. It doesn't require that. No one does that. This is how people make deals. This is how deals are made.
Wait.
A brief lunch.
Hold on.
A golf course.
Hold on a second. I understand that. However, do you? This is not a fact. This is just opinion. Don't you think that when someone is in that type of position, that the less distractions around them, the better they're going to be at that job?
No, not necessarily.
You don't think so? So
not necessarily.
So
what do you mean distractions? Less distractions. Movies are planned out, right?
No.
He's not doing all these movies at one time. They're all planned out.
But listen to what I'm saying. When I'm saying distractions, when we look at Kevin Feige, he's the guy from there. You don't at least I don't know this. I don't know the fact. I don't see him appearing in Marvel films, right? I don't see him directing Marvel films. Okay.
Kevin Feige is running Star Wars and Marvel.
He's not running Star Wars. Isn't Kathleen Kennedy still running Star Wars?
Yes. Kathleen Kennedy is on the outskirts. Kevin Feige has been the one that's had his hands dipped. That's why they brought in Dave Filoni.
Isn't that Dave Filoni?
They brought him.
He's under Kevin Feige. They answer to Kevin Feige.
Oh, because I always knew Dave Filoni was around before Kevin Feige, because he was the one that got Rebels on the air. But okay, even with that one, so even if he's doing that, he's not acting, singing, anything else. He's just producing stuff.
Because he's
what I'm saying The Rock is that
he's not an actor.
I get exactly what you're saying, Ralph.
See what I'm saying?
That's why I keep telling you.
But
That's why he keeps
Ralph, you act
plugging
like people
his
can't walk and chew
team.
bubblegum at the same time.
Of course
Because
he
you're
can.
capable of doing that.
That's why I keep bringing up the point that he's plugging his team more so now than ever.
But
because
that's
maybe
not the
maybe.
But that's not
No,
the question I
that is
asked you. No, it's not.
What your question you asked me is, can someone, you don't think it's just if they have other distractions, they might be better at their job? Not necessarily. It all depends, especially in a situation like this. Productions are planned out. They're planned out years in advance. So if you have a heavy slate of productions, whether you're producing them or you're acting in them or both, you have a plan. You know, you have schedules, and there's a whole team of people working on that schedule for each individual project he does. There's hundreds of people working on it. All he has to do is show up and act, right? And his team, he's a producer. Yes, he gets the calls. He's on the phone calls. He's on all of the meetings, whatever, but he has his team in place. Right? They're the extension of him.
That's why it's
They're
called
the extension of
7
him.
Buck Productions.
Right.
That's not why it's called $7 Productions. That's not why it's called $7 at all.
Oh my God, Ralph! Ralph,
what he's
listen,
saying
don't
is,
play with me, Ralph. I mean, literally, we know what it means as far as the meaning, but I mean $7 Productions. But it is a company.
Team. It's a company. It's a team. So yes, he's going to always be that figurehead, whatever the case may be. Like I said, everyone who's asked him and questioned him about how much influence he's had on getting Henry Cavill back, he gets a little modest about it, and he always makes sure he plugs his team. I believe he always bigged them up, but he wasn't plugging them this heavy with his other films like this. This is important to him, and he's plugging them because I believe, it's my opinion, he's plugging them to keep their name in people's faces and their names out there, so people start recognizing their names, because they will help him run whatever he runs over there. And that's my thing. That's my thing. He's not gonna. He can't do it by himself. No one can. But he has a team, right?
I never said that.
You're saying that he's too busy. You're saying he's too busy.
That's a lot.
That's the same. But it's a lot. But so what? For half the time, I mean, how many times you have things slated, and if you ain't actually started filming it yet, it gets pushed back, or it gets canceled. Who's to say that San Andreas don't get pushed back? Who's to say that one of them other part 2s, Hobbs and Shaw, doesn't get pushed back? It's just slated right now. That could change. That's all subject to change. If he hasn't actually started shooting it yet, that's all subject to change.
I could go with that. That's why I asked it.
But you asked me, I answered. My answer is not necessarily, especially with productions. Productions change, production schedules change, all that stuff. So we're gonna get ready to. It's about 10:30, so we're getting ready to start this next round. So now the next round that's like the gray silverish type.
Yeah,
right.
I got the color mix. Color is off.
Oh well, it's like whatever.
It's
like
gray and green, but the gray, the grays they're both part.
That's the next round.
That's the next round.
Yeah. Okay, that's the round right now. Okay, let me just get them together, get them set up, and we're gonna go ahead and start the next round of our TV tournament, or our tournament for the hottest female television actress / character of all time. We're gonna go into that now. Thank y'all for hanging out, and we're gonna go into it. So now, this round, we think about this as brackets. We've done the field of 64. We're now down to the 32. After this round is done, and we've gotten through our 32, we will then go into the Sweet 16. So think about brackets like a NCAA brackets, and that's how we're gonna go into. That's how we're gonna determine going from the Sweet 16 to the Elite Eight to the Final Four and to the Final Two and the champion. So that's how who will be dubbed the hottest female ever. So, I'm just saying that on TV. All right, so let's go. First round. Let's get it. Well, the first match of this round.
All right, then.
This is round 5.
Now, just remember before we get started. Remember, it's Mondays now gonna be called Cutthroat Mondays.
Yeah, so as
somebody's feelings
gonna
get hurt. Somebody's feelings gonna get hurt. Somebody's gonna get sad. Sorry, but that's just the way it is. Like 50 Cent said, that's part of the game. So our first battle tonight, and I hate to do this, is Farrah Fawcett from Charlie's Angels versus Kev's favorite Felicia Rashad from The Cosby Show.
So we don't have to ask Kev. We already know what
Kev going with.
That's okay. And Ralph, don't even start it. Don't say you hate to do this. You don't hate to do this because you did it. So don't tell me you hate to do this.
Because see, somebody's dreams and aspirations is about to get canceled, and it's gonna be like, man. Like we need to start having playing.
Never my dreams and aspirations, because Felicia Rashad is always going to be who she is, and she always will have a greater impact on the culture of television and film than Farrah Fawcett ever would. Farrah Fawcett is exactly where she's supposed to be, on somebody's garage in the Midwest, in a dust bowl.
Wow, strong words. Strong words.
All right. So there we go. This is the round. Starting off this round, this is the first match. If we was watching the heavyweight fight, like, damn, this is the first match? Jesus Christ. What the hell? What's the showstopper? Felicia Rashad, Cosby Show, Farrah Fawcett, Charlie's Angels. Charlie's Angels. Okay. Well, I'm gonna say this. Farrah Fawcett has made a very big impact on pop culture. As far as will I say that she's made a huge impact on pop culture through television? No, not so much. Just as Farrah Fawcett, the woman that men wanted and stuff like that, and being, the hot woman who she is, yes. But through television, not necessarily. So I take that into consideration. Once again, because it wasn't like Farrah on television. Now, like I said, for her show that she was on, we talked about this in the first round. Yes, it just wasn't. They were kind of chasing Farrah after she left the show. Show was still good. They had to refocus a little bit. And who replaced her again? Was it Cheryl Ladd? Who replaced her?
Yeah, I think it was Cheryl Ladd replaced her.
Cheryl Ladd replaced her. People like Cheryl Ladd. She wasn't gonna, did they like her or whatever more than Farrah Fawcett? No, probably not. They kind of focused, and I remember I told you I just binge watched this show about 2 months ago. I was watching it on Tubi. And they did shift a lot. They shifted a little bit when Farrah left, but all they really did was kind of focus a little more on who I thought was the best actress of the show was Jacqueline Smith. But so they kind of shifted to her character a little bit more. Felicia Rashad, there's not much to say about her. I mean, there's a lot to say, but what I mean is, what else can we say about her? We already know. We've made that distinction in the first round, how she changed the game for television. She changed the game.
Forever.
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 Forever. Yeah, this is yes, you can look at this and say this is a tough round, but we talking about television. And she changed the game for television. Right? So I got to for that alone. I gotta go with Felicia Rashad. I gotta go with Felicia Rashad just with what she did for television. For television. And the fact that she's hot. If you want to say she's sexy, and she did it without having to try to be hot and sexy.
Yeah.
That, you know what I'm saying? She did it without having to try to be hot. You look at this picture of her, and you look at the picture of Farrah. Farrah is hot, but Farrah's trying to be hot. Felicia's hot, and she ain't even trying to be hot. That's just how
And
she looks.
and you know something? Just on that point, I think we gotta give Felicia that she was sexy on the show where she was never in a bikini.
Right.
She was never.
She never showed any extra body parts or skin, and she didn't have to.
No, she never had to. Never
had to. And to this
never
day,
overdid it
people
with the
still
makeup.
Yeah.
To this day, people still call her Mrs. Cosby. I mean, Mrs. Huxtable.
Mrs. Huxtable, yeah. Mrs. Huxtable. And he said, "Welcome back, man. I didn't see you pop in there." He says, "Rashad." Yeah. So for that reason, if you just look at the two pictures, you look at her and you're like, okay, definitely. If we were playing a game of F, marry, kill, you definitely marry Rashad.
Oh, no doubt.
And you F Farrah Fawcett. He said you kill Farrah Fawcett. And
no, I don't know about killing her.
I would kill Farrah Fawcett. I mean, it depends on who the third person is. Now, if you want to tell me it's somebody like Raza Chad or something, I don't know. I mean,
you might have to change. You might have to change that one.
I'd be like, wait a second. Nah, but anyway, yeah, I go with Felicia Rashad too. She's just too big an impact. I really think Felicia's going deep into this competition just because of her impact on television. Period. You know what I mean?
And remember, it sparked us bringing up Felicia Rashad before we even started this thing. Sparked off a whole thing with that chick that called up.
That's true. That is true.
Oh man, boy, those were some interesting memories.
Yeah, that was a battle. Yeah.
I mean, I'm be honest with you. That was, we let her come up, and I let her come up and let her talk and stuff, but that she started to annoy the chat room. People were starting to leave. They was like, all right, I'm gonna head out because she just won't listen. Like, we tried to tell her, she just wanted to fight. She just in a mood to fight. Maybe her man, pissed her off, and she wanted to fight, and he didn't want to fight with her, and she wanted to fight with some men. That's what she wanted to do. She wanted to fight with some black men.
I'm the he woman.
Man
hate club.
Right? Yeah, she wanted to fight with some black men that night. That's all that was. So, but it's all good. She come back if she want to.
Yeah.
I give her smoke. If she want to smoke, don't matter. And they make me change what I had to say. I ain't changing what I say. I mean what I say and say what I be. I ain't changing it for nobody. But anyway, Felicia Rashad. Well, Ralph, you can give me your pick, but she's gonna go on anyway because
it's Felicia Rashad. I mean,
it's Felicia Rashad.
Yeah,
anyway.
because I mean, and I take what that is saying. Even if you take away, at the time she had the greatest pose of all time, Farrah Fawcett. After she left Charlie's Angels, and you can say, well, what did really Farrah Fawcett really do? I mean, you got the Cannonball Run,
right?
Okay,
it's a movie.
But then there was there's a big gap between the Cannonball Run to when she did that Playboy, like in the late 90s. There's a big gap in between it. Felicia Rashad, when she got off the Cosby Show, I mean, I mean, people look at her as, like I said, as Mrs. Huxtable. These got people that look at her as Adonis Creed's mom. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, she
Yeah.
kept doing stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
And plus she did countless movies like on Lifetime and stuff like that. She did a lot of TV
a lot of
movies.
stuff.
Yeah, she's always stayed active, but to even just within the context of our tournament of the the overall optics, good looking, longevity, impact on the culture, impact on her show, all of those things, she beats Farrah. You know what I'm saying? It's just
I
then
agree.
looks is just a matter of people's taste. But
Yep.
most people are gonna say whatever. You don't know what most people are gonna say. I know what I'm saying. But looks is a matter of people's taste. All those other factors that we have about this tournament, she wins.
Yeah.
And let's not also forget the lineage she comes from. If Debbie Allen's body is smoking, what you think the body look like?
Yeah, they both. Yeah, Debbie Allen. Yeah.
Mhm.
So all right. So it's Felicia for the win. Okay. Who's next?
All right. So our next battle is I need to have like some battle music, like roar or something. In the background, you know?
Some battle music.
I need to have like some battle music, like it shall begin or something. But our next battle is Lucy Liu from the TV show Elementary versus another angel, Jacqueline Smith from Charlie's Angels.
Another angel. Hello, angels. Okay. Well, I kind of go back to you have to use the same logic in a way. For me, Lucy Liu definitely got her on longevity. Jacqueline Smith stayed on the show long. She stayed on the show, I think, through the duration.
I think she's the only one that lasted.
She's the only one that lasted to the end, because the other ones got replaced.
Hold on a second. I got it.
Yeah. Jacqueline Smith showed longevity on her respective show. But Lucy Liu's longevity is bigger and better than Jacqueline Smith's. Now Elementary, we talking about the TV show Elementary. This is my only issue, if there is one, is Lucy Liu just barely made, for me, she barely made this list, because to me she's still kind of like a movie actress. But we're using her for the show Elementary. If I'm just using Elementary as my guideline, Charlie's Angels to me was a better show for its time at different times. But
they were both good shows for their.
No, they were both really good shows for their respective times. Yeah. They were both good shows for respective times. Charlie's Angels is Elementary. How long did that last? Is it still on or is it off now?
It's off. I think
it's off now. Charlie's Angels, I think, lasted longer because Charlie's Angels went.
No, I think Elementary just recently went off.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, maybe about a year. I think right before the pandemic or during the pandemic.
Yeah. Okay, it probably did. Just okay. Elementary. All right.
Well, regardless, because
that went from 2000. That went from 2012 to 2019. Yeah, so it did recently go off. Right. Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's only because of the pandemic. Because I think if it
that's like seven. What's that? 7 seasons?
Yeah, it's like 7.
Yeah, 7 seasons. Yeah. Okay, that's good. I didn't think it lasted that long, to be honest with you. So Charlie's Angels lasted how many seasons? And this is just for reference. It's not going to be the determinant.
I think
it's going to be the determinant. I thought it was more than 3. It was like 5, maybe. I'm trying to see. Like I said, when I was watching it,
I thought it lasted like at least six seasons.
Yeah, I thought 5, but let me see. There's so many now, and the funny thing is that whole show, you know, mm, it sparked so many other shows and remixes and movies, and it went from 1976 to 1981. That's the
That's
show.
5 years.
That's 5 years, 5 years, 5 seasons, pretty much. Yeah. And remember, and shoot, in the seasons, I don't know how many episodes. They were longer then, but yeah. So they went 5 seasons. Eh, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go with Lucy Liu. I'm going with Lucy Liu. I love Jacqueline Smith, but like I said, I ain't see her nothing else after Charlie's Angels. I can't remember. Like I said,
and is this her prom picture?
Is this what?
Is this her prom picture?
No, it's not. Listen. Look. All right, let me say this real fast, because I thought I told you I was changing the pictures around. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Oh, some of the women, like we call them trap thirst pictures, right? Thirst pictures. A lot of women don't take thirst pictures, right? Like Jacqueline Smith, there really isn't a lot of stuff from her where she's in.
Because she was classy. She was
very classy.
She was pretty classy.
Very classy.
Yeah, he was very classy. Yeah, I remember that.
But back in those days, most of the women that were performing on television really weren't taking. It looks to me they really weren't taking those kind of pictures. That really didn't come out till the mid '80s when people started getting a little looser, and then clothes started, because on the shows, even though Charlie's Angels was an exception to that one, most of the women on the show really weren't showing skin. They were, Charlie's Angels did because of some of the outfits they go undercover.
Yeah.
But the bulk of them wasn't really showing skin. I guess because there were still censors in place on television. You had to answer to the parent, So, with the exception of maybe Linda Carter, that might be the only one. But once again, that's because of her outfit. I'm quite sure if the parents' council had something to say, she wouldn't have been.
Had that mom bump in the front, so that's what made her cool.
Yeah. Right.
Now if she can't roll it out in the hot pants, then we're like, hold up, you can't have it on television.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna move Lucy Liu on. Really, because I think she'll do better in next rounds, or she could do better, have a better chance. I said honestly, she barely made this list, I think, because I still kind of think of her as a film actress, but she was on that show for 7 seasons, so that's a lot of seasons.
Now, see, I had thought about that with Lucy Liu because not only was she on Elementary, but she was on Ally McBeal.
Right, Ally McBeal. Yeah.
So she has.
But she's got her TV. She got a TV track record. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to take that into consideration also. So, I'm kind of with you with that one. I think although Jacqueline Smith, she started doing a lot of these, TV movie of the weeks. She was on those Lifetime movies, so she was on a lot of stuff. But and once again, I get Lucy Liu like, okay, so you did television. Is that all you did? Did you do anything else? So you can sit there and make the point. Lucy Liu has certainly put her working on television.
Mm-hmm.
And not for nothing, she was in the Charlie's Angels movie, and by based on that, she could have been in the TV show.
How funny!
Right. That's funny. Yeah, was that your matchup? Was that I thought about that when I looked at that. I said, how ironic.
That's just the way it rolled out. That's just the way it rolled out.
I'm like, how ironic. 2 angels. All right, so Lucy Liu moves on. All right, let's go to the next one.
All right. Our next battle, man, cutthroat. We got Barbara Eden from the TV show I Dream of Jeannie versus Garcelle Bouveau from the Jamie Foxx show.
Oh, let's see. Let me bring that up. Fancy. Oh, fancy. Okay, so Jeannie, who's all right. Full disclosure, without giving TMI, but I had a huge crush on Jeannie. Watching Jeannie as a kid, as a little horn dog kid in my that I was. I had a little crush on Jeannie Barbara Eden. Um, but I had a crush on Fancy too. So it's kind of even. I still call her Fancy. That's the funny thing. Now y'all tell me this or what you think, because I'm not the only person that does that. Everyone, do you think people just continue to call her Fancy because they can't really pronounce her name, or just because she just made that impact as the character?
That's just black people being black people and us not knowing how to separate the character from the person.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's another fact I didn't consider, Kev. That's true.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of leaning with you on that one. They just call it Fancy because it's easier to remember than Garcelle,
yeah, people. I still don't know how to pronounce her last name, which
is Bouveau.
Bouveau, yeah. See, so I'm like, I would be so.
It's a different spelling than with an X, because usually it's with an X.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Bouveau is usually with an X, something like that. Bouveau, Duveau, or something like that. You know. I'm be honest with you though, Garcelle, Fancy, whatever you want to call her, in her prime, she was one of the baddest women walking this planet. Yeah, she was just bad. She kind of I felt about her how I kind of felt about Naomi Campbell when Naomi Campbell was in her prime. Like when Naomi Campbell was in her prime, she was one of the baddest women walking this planet. You know what I mean? Stink attitude, ugly attitude, but just beautiful, drop dead, gorgeous, right? Fancy, call it that. She had that, to me, that kind of look where she just had the, for everything from her skin tone and her long hair, the black hair, something like that.
Oh,
and her body was crazy.
She Haitian. She automatically get the pass. Yeah.
That's right. She Haitian. Yeah. She bad.
This is the original black magic right here.
Yeah, that's funny. The original black magic. Yeah, I actually wish. I mean, she's done other things. I actually wish she got an opportunity to get more opportunity, but
she has. I mean, I think she has. I think she.
I mean,
she
like leading lady stuff. She's been in stuff.
Yeah.
She's been actually. And the funny thing is, she was her age. You can't tell her age because she ages so gracefully. Even back then, because if I'm not mistaken, I thought I saw her in an episode of Miami Vice one time.
You probably did.
You know what I'm saying? That kind of tells me.
She was on Family Matters. She was on.
I mean, but she didn't really age gracefully. I mean, she got the Vivica Fox chubby cheeks.
She aged better than Vivica Fox, definitely though. I think she aged gracefully. I think she doesn't. Yeah, she looks a little. She's obviously a little heavier than she was back then, but she kind of pretty much looks the same. It's just as far as that, she's gained more weight.
I'm gonna sound like a straight up male pig. Listen, Kev said it best. Would you want to wake up next to her?
Male pig.
Yeah. Would you want to wake up next to her? Yes. Yes.
Most definitely. I love Barbara Eden. I love Jeannie so much. Tough one for me. They're two different eras and two different crutches.
Not only is she the Haitian black magic, but also I remember I used to think of her as being Storm at one point before Halle Berry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
she probably would have looked nice. She probably would have looked nice as Storm.
Even if they gave her the white mohawk, she'd still be fine as
Yeah. She's a bad
Sorry,
one,
man. I'm going with Garcelle. No disrespect to Barbara Eden, because Barbara Eden
Nah,
certainly
no
was nothing.
disrespect.
Even as she got older, you was like, I just saw her the other
Yeah,
day.
Barbara Eden was actually very, very pretty,
very
even
beautiful.
well into her older age.
Because
She
she was
really
on
always was.
I saw her on the George Lopez show. They was rerunning, and she was on there. I was like, wow, she could have still
That's
got
cool.
it. She could have still got it.
Yeah, I think it's fair to go with Garcelle.
I think
Go
that's
with
fair.
Garcelle because she was just, she's just bad.
That ain't the word.
That ain't the word.
Right.
Who's bad?
Okay.
But anyway, go ahead.
All right. So next up, we got another battle. Our next battle is Christy Alley from the TV show Cheers versus Nicole Erie Parker from the TV show Soul Food.
I'm gonna be quite honest with you. Obviously, Nicole Ari Parker is very beautiful. This is just my opinion. I always thought she's obviously very beautiful. Okay. However, I've never been really into her for some reason. I just think she's a okay actress. Soul Food.
There go Team Light again.
Yeah. So I'm saying I think she's a good actress, okay actress.
She's a great actress actually, and she's funny.
She ain't great. She's definitely not great. We gotta stop throwing that word around so much. She's not a great actress.
No, I said she's a good actress.
No, I thought you said great. She's definitely not a great actress.
Good. I would go good. Good actress.
Yeah.
Good actress.
Right. Solid. Let's say solid. She's a solid actress. Very pretty, whatever. I never really got into her role on Soul Food because to me, the Soul Food show never matched up to the movie, so I never really gave it a chance. So I was like, you know what? Nah. I tried. I watched a couple of episodes. I'm like, I said, this, the movie did it for me. So, yeah.
I liked her on there, and I liked her on The Real Husbands of Hollywood.
The Real Husbands of Hollywood.
Yeah,
I never watched that. Nah, I never watched that.
Yeah, she was hilarious on that. She's actually funny. Yeah, but regardless of whatever, I don't care if I've never seen her in anything by Christy Alley, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're going by our criteria of whatever,
Kev, he's got something against Kirstie Alley. He's been had something against Kirstie Alley, whatever reason.
I just don't think she's all of that. But I can't knock. I can't knock her.
That's a way better picture, Ralph. Good choice.
Yeah. You could have picked a way better picture too, Ralph.
No, I mean this was a better picture than the last one you had of her.
Of who?
Of Kirstie Alley.
Oh yeah, I found a whole bunch of pictures where she's like luxuriating in the pool. I was really trying to find that one when she was in that Playboy movie. That's what I was trying to find, but I couldn't find it. Because I just couldn't put Savick up there.
I'm only going with Kirstie Alley just because of the criteria. I mean, Nicole Ari Parker. I mean, it could be equally said for both of them. I mean, if we just going by looks, obviously Nicole is the prettier.
Yeah, she's the prettier of the two.
I think Nicole is the better actor of the two, but culturally, from a European, Caucasian standpoint of view,
I mean, I don't even know if I'm not. This is my opinion. I'm not sure if she's the better actor. I think Kirstie Alley's also very funny. She's very funny. She was funny in Cheers. She was funny in the Look Who's Talking movies.
Oh, I forgot about those. But those are part of the criteria.
No, it's not part of the criteria. I'm just saying, just as an actor.
She definitely was funny in those, and was definitely a looker in there. She definitely looked her best in
No.
in
And she
those.
was funny in
Not in
one of
that,
my
not in
favorite
Look Who's
movies
Talking.
is Loverboy.
Yeah,
She was
there
funny
you
in
go,
that.
Loverboy.
She was really a looker in that too. But Loverboy was one of my faves.
Now that
Um,
we mentioned all of that, Ari, Nicole, we got a little monkey wrench in the game.
yeah, I yeah. So
I could,
Well,
you know,
if we gonna go with the looks, then I
forgot about those movies.
you know, if we're gonna go with that part, then you gotta get Nicole Ari Parker because she is in Boogie Nights.
yeah,
It's nudity.
that was good.
Right? She
Yeah.
is in Brown Sugar.
Yeah.
Right. I know for briefly she's in what's that crappy Martin Lawrence movie where he was the crook impersonating the cop. Blue
Blue Steel,
Streak.
Blue Streak, yeah.
Blue Streak, that shit was funny. Is that the one? That's the one that Dave Chappelle was in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, those are movies. Just
And
like
she,
we
but
can't
back on
count
TV,
Look Who's
she
Talking.
is. But on TV, she is in the reboot of Sex and the City. You know, she's one of the Carrie's girlfriends on the
Is
show.
a reboot of that? Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's called and
oh
then
yeah, it's got a
then
whole nother name. Yeah. And she's on there.
But
is she the token on there?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. But
Yeah.
for the basis of this, I have to go with Chrissy because of the fact that she was stepping into pretty big shoes, taking over for Shelley Long from Jump Street.
Yeah,
and
true.
and the step into those shoes and make your character on its own and actually make her better than what Shelley Long was.
Hold on, explain that last part because I'm not up to date on that part.
Okay,
Well,
Shelley Long was from Cheers. She was the original love interest for the main character on Cheers. The original head you know, lead. The blonde chick, yeah.
The blonde chick.
And her character made obviously a huge impact on that show. And a lot of people was wondering what was gonna happen when she left the show. Who's Sam gonna do his famous hitting on and stuff like that? And
it wasn't gonna be Carla. We knew it wasn't gonna be Carla.
We knew it wasn't gonna be Carla. So when they brought Kirstie Alley in, yeah, she did have some big shoes to fill, and she was able to build her character out on some, you know, even different. It wasn't like it wasn't Sam and Diane all over again. It was a whole different era. You know, Sam and what was her character's name again? Rebecca, I think.
Rebecca.
Yeah, Sam and Rebecca. You know, which from a fan of the show and a fan of the stories in the show, it was cool because they attacked it from a different angle. They didn't do like what unfortunately Three's Company tried to do the first time when they brought in the girl that played Chrissy's cousin. They tried to replace Chrissy. So when they finally decided to stop trying to replace Chrissy and then brought in the Terry character, which was a completely different type of character and took it in another direction, that's when to me the show found success again. That show was able to keep chucking on with her character as well. Completely different character than Diane's character. I agree with you there. I think she had a better, you know, she had bigger shoes to fill and she was able to, she delivered. It was like that, you know, she came in as that newbie. It's like you have that anticipation album dropping as an artist. And she lived up to the hype, you know what I mean? Because when people first saw it, they're like, "Oh man, she's a looker. She's a brunette, though." You know, they was used to blondes. This brunette, she's good looking, got these eyes. These eyes are piercing. They pierce through your soul. Those eyes of hers. So, yeah, I'm going Kirstie Alley. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. All right, so Kirstie Alley pushes on into the Sweet 16. Now our next battle. All right, like I said, folks, it's called Cutthroat. It's called Cutthroat. I'm just warning you all now because tomorrow I don't want to hear nobody griping about me on Twitter or Instagram saying, "Yo, Ralph, why you do me like that?" It's the luck of the draw. So our next battle, and I really hate to do, Hate to do it, but it gotta get done because we cutthroat here on Real Talk. It's Pamela Anderson from Baywatch versus Linda Carter from Wonder Woman.
Oh. I hate to do Wonder Woman like this.
I mean, listen. I'm gonna be if we're going by criteria, Linda Carter is the better woman. She looks better. Even in that outfit, her Mexican body is just slim. It's nice. It's sexy, but it doesn't say sluttish. It doesn't say she's not trying to. She's not projecting anything. She's projecting Wonder Woman. Whereas Pamela Anderson is just, take away the boobs.
But part of our criteria is longevity, and Pamela Anderson has shown longevity in television.
Yeah, but so is Linda Carter.
After Wonder Woman, I mean, great. She's Wonder Woman, and that to me, that's her pop culture. That's her pop culture score, because she's Wonder Woman. That's who everyone. When you first thought about Wonder Woman, and even to this day, you still think about Wonder Woman. You think about Linda Carter, right? Because she's the first person we ever saw play that character, and she did well at it. And she's just engraved in our minds as Wonder Woman. But so that's her pop reference, her pop culture reference score. Longevity, though, I definitely give that to Pamela Anderson, because Pamela was able to move to different shows and be successful on them. 2 or 3 shows.
Who's the actor?
Who's a better actor? I'll say Linda Carter's a better actor. I'll say she's the better actor.
See, now, wait. Even with that one, I'm gonna sit there and say, can you definitely say she's a better actor? Because Linda Carter,
you don't have a lot to choose from
exactly. You don't have a whole lot to choose from, and they didn't put her. They never put her into anything more than like
serious situations,
right? I mean, yeah, she was on Partners in Crime, but that only lasted for a year with Lonnie Anderson, and then realistically speaking, after that, Linda Carter went off, but she went to go make music. She didn't, can't really pull out too many movies that she did.
Right.
TV
it's hard to say that she's the better actor, because there's not a lot to pull from.
Yeah. But Pamela Anderson, on the other hand, you got a whole lot of stuff to look from.
Stuff to look for.
And
I'm gonna be honest with you. The out of the shows, I took glances at some of the shows, but I watched Baywatch. I watched Baywatch a lot, and yes, Pamela Anderson has the blonde babe look or whatever, but she wasn't terrible in Baywatch. It's her acting. Her acting wasn't terrible. It's not like she was just terrible. I didn't like that movie that she did. I thought that was corny.
Barbed Wire?
Yeah, I thought that was stupid. But I mean, she looked great in it, but I thought it was very campy to me.
Yeah,
it was probably meant to be that way, but
I'm quite sure
it was meant to be campy. It's just about, hey, listen, let's get her out there and see what she looks like. But her character in Baywatch, and they had some different Baywatch had some different themes and stuff going on in the episodes. Not all of them it wasn't just about women running on the beach, but that's just one of the best parts. But
I'm still going with Linda Carter.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. It's tough one for me, only because to me, Linda Carter's biggest win out of this is her pop reference, her pop culture. But now, granted, Pamela Anderson also had a big impact on pop culture. She did have a big impact on the pop culture. The way people look, the way people, like I said, she had that. You got those people that come along through the years, and she was one of them. You got Marilyn Monroe, Pamela Anderson, Kim Kardashian. These are people that came through the years that influenced generations of people, influenced a generation start looking like that. You know, like when Pamela Anderson was at her height, every woman was starting to look like Pamela Anderson. That's the truth. They were all not every woman, but you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of women, as they came up trying to get fit, they were trying to look like Pamela Anderson.
Not really, because I think a lot of women were already getting boob jobs before Pamela Anderson came along.
Well, like I
I
said,
don't know,
I
man.
think she had a big impact on that. Like I said with Kim Kardashian, when I look at little things such as catalog, model, catalog that's modeling clothes. I'm like everybody on this damn website looks like looks like Kim Kardashian. So I'm just like, that's how I know she has such an impact. Just like Marilyn Monroe did, and everyone was trying to look like her with the blonde and the bleach blonde and this and the other. I mean, hell, Hugh Hefner himself was basically every woman, every Playboy bunny. He wanted them to look like Pamela Anderson. That's just him there. She definitely had her big impact. So that's where I'm going now. I'm going down the criteria. Like I say, for every character, every female, looks is a coin toss. It's a matter of taste. So that's just a matter of taste. So to me, that washes out as a matter of taste.
Well, my thing is, you want class, you want trash. I want class.
Yeah, I get that.
Over there with Rob Zombie.
Jacqueline Smith is class. You didn't pick her. I'm like, Jacqueline Smith was class. You didn't pick her.
You kind of like threw her under a bus. He was like, he was like,
oh, Jacqueline. Who was she up against?
She's up against Lucy Liu.
Oh yeah. Bye.
All right.
Asian class versus American class. I'll take the brown.
Yeah. Okay.
And the Jeffels look cute as hell on Lucy Liu. Hands off, Mr. Clark.
Sure.
Wow.
Hey man, I think Pamela Anderson goes on for me.
I agree.
I think she just made too much of a big impact in her
I
time.
definitely agree. And also, I forgot about the fact that she was dating or married to that train wreck Tommy Lee. So add that into the mix. That just
the train wreck Tommy Lee. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't help who she married. I mean,
you can't, and but that basically just set her.
And let's be honest, I hate to say it. Right. And the pop brother, and let's be honest, you can't not talk. It's not television, but you can't not talk about the sex tape.
Nope.
That made such an impact, and that unfortunately wasn't their doing. I feel bad for them when you learn the story about it, how it happened. I feel bad for them because and the reason why I know or feel or definitely know that they didn't have anything to do with it, because they never profited off of it. They never tried to profit off of it. They never tried to sue for money. They only wanted it taken down.
Yeah.
They never tried to get money from it or anything like that. And it made a lot of money. It made a lot of money for other people, not for them. And they the stars of it. And it didn't make a lot of money for them. So they could have very well sued and got proceeds from it or got the money from it because they're in it. And the fact that it was stolen from them, they could have sued and got the money. They didn't want the money. They just wanted the damn thing down.
Yeah.
It's their private life. So, but that was, come on. That started the whole sex tape craze.
Yep. And I gotta give another nod to Pamela Anderson, which I gotta count to because Joseph is sitting there. What's up, Joseph? That she was also appeared in the episode of Married with Children, and when she did, But I forgot at the same time she was doing Baywatch, she was doing Home Improvement too. So she was doing two shows at the same time.
That's right. She was doing Home Improvement at the same time. She started at Home Improvement, right? But then she
rolled
stayed
over
on
to
it.
Baywatch. And then rolled over to Baywatch. But while she was on it, she was still doing Home Improvement. Why time that she was doing Baywatch? So I mean that's not bad. And most actors they act like they can't they can't do two
doing a
scenes a day.
series. I know doing a series is tough though to maintain 2 series.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, Pamela rolls on. She rolls in.
She rolls out and rolls on.
All right.
All right, next.
Okay. All right. Our next battle. This might be a good one. I'm just putting it out there. It could be, but once again, it's cutthroat.
Yeah.
Right. So our next battle is Alyssa Milano from the show Charmed versus Kelly Coco from The Big Bang Theory.
These are great. Yo, these are good pictures, Ralph. They almost in the same pose.
I said I was trying to get the thirst trap pictures going.
But it's funny that they're technically in the same pose almost. They're both grabbing the shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Alyssa Milano has a little short of a shirt, and these are great pictures. Alyssa Milano's hot, man.
I'm going with Alyssa Milano. Sorry.
She's a hottie.
Charmed is just
too hottie.
Even my kids, even my kids are still watching Charmed, and their kids are probably going to watch Charmed, and their kids are probably going to watch Charmed.
Yeah, she really did. She did her thing on Charmed. Like that show made a lot of impact. Real lot of impact. I mean, not that the Big Bang Theory has it. It has, but I'm just saying. Wow.
Charm went into syndication. I mean, granted, yeah, Charm did come out before the Big Bang Theory, but Charm was still had episodes going when the Big Bang Theory started, right? Am I wrong?
I want to say you're right about that.
They still had episodes going, possibly. They had 9 seasons. The Big Bang Theory had like,
I think it's at 12.
12. Big Bang Theory had 12 seasons of it. But it's very possible that Charmed might have. I think Charmed might have ended a little bit before Big Bang Theory came out.
But they definitely was in syndication when Big
Bang. Of course they're in syndication. They're still on, you still can. And it comes on every night in the mornings.
They were in syndication on 3 different networks too.
TNT, that's definitely one of them. I see them on TNT to this day. They're definitely in syndication on TNT.
I think they were on Sci-Fi Channel at one time. I think.
Maybe.
I can't remember. I'm trying to remember what was their original network. Was it the WB?
WB,
yeah. It was WB.
Yeah, WB was the original network. Yeah. Oh, Charmed. Wow, that's a good one, man. Because I really do like Kaylee Cuoco because
she's funny.
I like her. She's funny, and I love her in that other show that was on HBO Max.
The Flight Attendant.
The Flight Attendant. Really liked her in that. And actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. She really showed me in The Flight Attendant. She can act.
Yeah.
She can freaking act, bro. Like she played. You saw? Did you see the second season?
Nah, I saw a couple episodes of the first season.
Did you see the second season, Kev?
Yeah, I started watching it. I didn't finish it though.
In the second season, she's playing different versions of herself.
Yeah.
Remember in the first season, she would go into her head and she'd see that guy that was dead, and that was like the guy talking to her. But that's replaced in the second season, basically by the different versions of herself. Her drunk version, her flight attendant version, her young. Then there was another actress who played the younger version of her, but she played like 3 different versions of herself, trying to antagonize herself, which is so ill. And she did a lot of crying in this show, a lot of emotional roller coaster stuff. Even though the show is still funny to a
And
degree.
funny about that, you would have thought that she would have gotten rid of all of that baggage last season.
I know, but I'm just like, yo, she showed that she can act, man. Especially certain scenes where she really did some heavy acting with the whole crying and everything. She did a thing. Girl can act. Not that Alyssa can. Alyssa can act. She an OG. She been doing this for years. She been doing this since she was a kid. So this is a real good one, Ralph. I ain't gonna lie. For me, it is. It's a good one. It's a tough one. It's one of them definitely them cutthroat ones for
It's
me.
cutthroat slash.
Yeah. Listen, man. Woo. Looks, you can flip a coin as far as I'm concerned. I think Alyssa looks a little better. To me, she's better looking a little bit.
Okay, this is how confusing. If right now, who do I think I had a bet? If I shot my shot, who would I have better?
If you shot your shot right now, who you had a better chance with between the two of them?
Yeah,
yourself.
I gotta say Kaylee Coco.
You think you have a better shot with Kaylee?
Yeah,
maybe. She seems a little. She definitely seems a little. I don't know. Like from what I've seen her on interviews and stuff like that. I haven't met her. I don't know her. Oh, big up to the new member.
She might float.
What up? What up, Lena? Lena Buns.
Yep. Lena Buns. Thank you for joining. We appreciate you.
Alyssa seemed like she, at the dinner table, she let a couple of N-words slip.
What? Where did that come from?
I don't know.
That is just so wrong, man, on so many different levels.
She let a couple of N-words slip. What? It's the Italian part of her. It's the Italian in her.
Yeah. Back to Mooley. She let a couple of moolies fly.
That ain't even right, man. That's not even right.
Well, whereas with Kaylee, at least I would get a drink. At least she would give me the honor of at least buying her a drink before she'd be like, "Nah, B, you need to go."
Wow.
Yo,
wow, folks.
What a great way of picking. How do we choose now? You just made it harder. You say you look like she might let a few in. Oh man, Alyssa Milano this is what makes it hard for me. They're both very sexy.
If Ralph one of the charm pictures, I probably would have had a different. It would be a different scenario. But because you picked this one looks like the hard-boiled IROC Z Italian girl.
IROC Z. Black IROC with the moon roof.
Exactly.
The T roof.
T-top.
The T-top. Oh, man. Yo,
and
that's
it's got to
funny.
say IROC on it. It's got to say in big white letters IROC.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's too funny. Now I want to cast her in a movie like that.
The IROC gang.
Yeah, right. I want to cast her in a movie like that. Well, here's my final breakdown on it. Like I said, they're both very sexy. Both very sexy. Kaylee, in that season 2. She had my man in there too. I forgot that dude's name, but he played the FBI agent that. Because in the second season, she's working for the CIA or whoever they are, the FBI or whatever. And her handler, you can feel the sexual tension between them the whole show. And I'm like, yo, is she gonna bang her handler? And she did. Kaylee for the win. She banged but her character was real. What I loved about her acting though is her character. The complexity of her character was really. She had an effed up character, man. That character's effed up in the head. especially because of relationship. She was straight in a relationship too in this part of the season. She's like in a relationship. She goes back to that whole time she's in rehab, collecting her little coins or whatever. That's this month, 6 months, a year, huh?
It seemed like every 30 days she take a drink.
Yeah, she's like collecting all these coins. Her brother, oh, I'm proud of you. Yo, she had fell off the wagon months ago. It kept starting over. Her character was messed up, but it was very good acting by her. Very good acting.
Like I said, if I had to choose, if I
Pen,
had to shoot my shot right
pad.
now, I'm at least gonna get a drink out of Kaylee.
Damn, man. Yeah, man, Ralph. I'm gonna be one of them guys tweeting you like, "Why'd you do this to me, Ralph?
You're
Can I
hurting me,
change
man.
my answer?" Nah.
You know
Damn.
what we need to do next time we do this when we had no tournament, right? I mean, we always have rules, but maybe because we do need to get our fans involved. Maybe we need to have like a lifeline, you know, where like we like this, and we say, well, we're gonna just pick somebody and bring them on the show and let's hear what they got to say. Maybe to like sway our thought process.
Yeah.
Maybe they think something that we didn't think about. You know, like, oh
True.
yeah. So maybe next time we do something like this, we'll have like a lifeline. Like we'll just pick somebody, you know, and say, okay, we want to know what you think.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Wow. Yeah. Normally we have our regulars have been floating in and out of the room. Like we still see, quite a few people in the room, but they're just being more silent.
Yeah, Yusuf, what you think?
Where's Yusuf?
Where
Is he still in the room?
What you think?
He usually gives good opinions if he's still in the room.
I don't know. I think we heard him with because I think we heard him a little while back with the Chrissy Alley and Nicole Parker one. He kind of hurt.
Yo, this Broncos Charger game is crazy, man.
What happened? Oh, the Broncos Chargers. It's in overtime. 16-16. Overtime. Yeah, I mean, the Broncos really need this though.
They do.
He really needs it. Huh?
So did we come up with? Did we make a decision yet? I mean, this is like
I'm still stuck. Go ahead, Ralph. I'm still stuck.
I have to give longevity to Kelly Coco, right? Now, when it comes to the impact, I mean, she's on the show that's the longest comedy at 12 years. That's pretty damn good. And now you're on your another TV show, right? And your main show is still in syndication on. God, I can't even count how many networks it's on.
I know. Forget about it.
You know. And the funny thing I think with Kelly Coco is that, and I don't know if this is 100% correct, but it seems the only reason she even got to Big Bang Theory is because of what happened to John Ritter, because that show was going to last for a while.
Yeah, I remember she was on that show.
Yeah, until his untimely death.
What was it called again? How to Date My Daughter?
8 Rules to Date My Daughter.
8 Rules to Date My Daughter. Yeah.
But that show was going to last until he passed away. So, I mean, I got to take more I don't want to use the word luck, but just the strangest of coincidences. You got free to do the Big Bang Theory because who knows what could have happened to you after that show. But just based on what I see on the paper, I gotta side with Kelly.
Yeah, I forgot about 8 Simple Rules, man. That was a funny show too.
Yes, it was.
That was a funny show. 8 Simple Rules. How to Date My Daughter. Yeah, I love John Ritter, man. I was really hurt when John Ritter passed away. I really, that I was a big John Ritter fan, man. I even loved him in It. The TV version of It.
Yeah.
Like,
now, did you ever see the one where the movie he did where he was? I think it wasn't called. I think it was called Heroes, where he was a wrestler. Him and Annetto too, where he was a wrestler. And I mean, I love Problem Child. The first Problem Child was funny. The second one.
Remember, he was also in a movie called Hero at Large.
That's it. Where he was a wrestler.
Yeah,
He became a wrestler.
Hero at Large.
Yeah.
He was at that. He was in quite a bit. John Ritter was that dude. I'm sorry, Jack Tripper is that dude. Jack Tripper's the man, son.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when back when me and my brother was doing our rap thing, my brother had that line, and I live with two broads like Jack Tripper, nigga. He's not living two, and he really did at the time. He lived with two broads like Jack Tripper, nigga. Huh?
Yeah, that was a funny thing.
So he told no lies with that. Evan Hollywood, big up. He said, "Yo, I live with two broads like Jack Tripper, nigga." Yeah.
Hey, thinking about that, how was your brother feeling? Because this girl got knocked out real quick. Heather Thomas.
Heather Thomas. I don't think he cares as much. He just wanted to make sure she was in there.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he expected her to go too deep with all of the people we got. Oh man, God, man, I'ma just cut the throat and go with Kaylee. Damn, I went Alyssa Milano. They have very similar careers though. Alyssa Milano had longevity too because she had Who's the Boss
Two
running.
two TV shows.
Right, and then she jumped onto Charmed. I mean, Charmed was her show as an adult.
Yeah. And then when Alyssa got 18, the clothes started coming off in movies. Y'all never seen Embrace the Vampire?
Of course I did. Of course I did.
Go watch it.
Of course. This is what made this decision so hard. I know we talk about TV, not movies.
I know.
So, Embrace the Vampire. First of all, I ain't gonna go there. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man.
Skinamax.
Wow. I guess I'm going with Kaylee.
Yeah, I'm going with
she
Kaylee.
Moves on. She's moving on.
All right,
and Kev was gonna shoot a shot at Kaylee, so he went with Kaylee.
Kelly gonna get him a drink. She gonna get you a drink.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
No, hell, I mean, Kev,
we only got two left, so it's cool.
I mean, Kev, you know what T-Ped's saying? If I buy one more drink, I'm gonna end up effing you. So maybe you do got a shot.
All right, cool.
All right. So our next, all right, we got two more battles for the night. Our next battle, a little bit easier. We got Joan Collins, classic Joan Collins from TV show Dynasty, versus Lucy Lawless from Xena Warrior Princess.
Yeah, that one's a little easier. I think Lucy Lawless gets this one for me. That's what I say. Joan Collins, obviously, I love her. Loved her character. Named my daughter after her character, Alexis. That's how I kind of used that. That's how I came with that name for my first daughter, Alexis. That was a really cool name. I don't know why I liked it. That was a cool name. Named my first child after it. But Lucy Lawless changed it. She kind of changed the game when she came in. That Xena. That was that one that went pretty long too, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That show went pretty long. And on syndication.
But Impact, Joan Collins had perfume.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson wanted to look like Joan Collins.
No, you thinking about Elizabeth Taylor.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking about Elizabeth Taylor.
But Joan Collins had perfume too.
She did have perfume. But when you start mentioning Michael Jackson, you think about Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah.
He was in love with Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah.
He was in love with her. But yeah, Joan Collins had big impact, most definitely. I mean, but so did Lucy Lawless and Xena. That was a big character, literally.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that she did it with a character that was a little less likely to be so popular and be so whatever, this whole warrior princess thing.
I think it was a bigger risk.
It was definitely a bigger risk than, let's just say, Alexis Carrington, Kobe, Dexter. That was she married so many people in the show. Alexis something. I forgot her middle name. I mean her maiden name. Alexis, whatever, Carrington, Colby, Dexter. And she played the classy rich woman. Not taking nothing away from her on that, but that was definitely less of a risk than this woman stepping in playing this warrior princess. The whole show itself was a risk if people were gonna buy into it and love it like they did.
Well, I'm going with shoot my shot again.
Uh-oh.
You got if you're shooting your shot, man. I mean, I don't know. You gotta shoot it at Lucy, man.
No, I'm shooting it at Joan.
You shooting it at Joan, man. You ain't if you ain't pulling up in nothing fly. I don't know.
See, you gotta hear me out. See,
Pulling up in the Acura, I'm gonna tell you, go home, bro. Go home.
Rolling up on Joan. I'm rolling up on Joan as the pool boy.
Okay, so you going that route. Okay, so I can see that. You gonna be her guilty pleasure, the black pool boy. You gonna be her guilty pleasure. She gonna be like, yep. She ain't gonna tell. She gonna be, you're my little secret. Yeah. That's where we will keep it. I'm telling you, that's what
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Lucy gonna be like, let's go to the gym together.
Let's work it out.
Listen, I'm 5'11". Lucy's like what, 6'2"?
No, I think Lucy's like, I thought she was like 5'11".
Yeah, she's about the same height. She's about 5'11".
Oh, hold up. Wait, I might shoot my shot. Wait a minute. I gotta figure
you said she's gonna be. She's not 6 feet. She's about she's about 5'11", and then when she put them boots on,
that's when she looked tall as hell.
Yeah. Oh, so who won? The Chargers?
Kind of like Linda Carter in this picture.
She looks great, though. I like that look of her.
You do look like she could use a little bit of sun, though. Joan is a little darker.
In that picture.
In that
picture.
She's in that picture. They about the same complexion in real life. In that picture. And they darken them in these pictures anyway.
And you know what? I gotta go with, even though I'm gonna shoot my shot at the pool boy, but I gotta go with Lucy Lawless because
he's gonna shoot my shot at
the pool boy. You need some chlorine in your pool?
Oh man.
I got my skimmer.
Got my skimmer. I got my pole.
He said pole.
He said pole.
Pole.
He said pole. He said pole. Oh my God.
Oh man.
I can't.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
That
man.
was great.
You made the night, man.
Like I said, you gonna be her guilty pleasure. They be like, Joan, how many times you get your pool clean? You never even use it.
He's just not doing the job you was doing. So you gonna be here every day.
Like, listen, no, I might be out in front of her house in handcuffs because neighbors might report me. Like, we keep seeing this little black Negro keep coming over here. You don't know what's going on. Like, Joan, come talk to your people.
He's my pool boy. Leave him alone.
So Chargers won. Okay.
Yeah, they won.
Yet another loss for the Chargers. All right, let's go. Let's knock it out.
Yeah, I'm only going with Lucy because I think I haven't seen pictures of Joan Collins, but I think Lucy Lawless is no makeup pretty.
Yeah, I think so too. She killed it. I'm going with Lucy as well.
Me too. See, I like girls. I like women that can fight, and Lucy Liu, like, you know, I'm not even kidding, right?
Yeah.
Lucy Liu, like, if she like, oh, you can say what you want, but if you say too much, I got something for you. So,
and I tell you, I know it's got to be the China connection too, a little bit. I ain't gonna front. Back in the day, before I knew who Lucy Lawless was, I thought that China was Xena Warrior Princess, or could have
you
been.
think so?
Yeah. I'm not saying that they look so much alike, but they do have that same. Probably it was the hair. I think it was the hair that definitely. The hair definitely had me thinking, yeah, China could play that. Yeah, I always made that connection from the moment I saw China pop up in the WWF. I was like, yeah, from which one I saw first. When I saw the other, I was like, But yeah, anyhow, yeah, Lucy Lawless. Okay, let's go. We have our final battle of the night.
All right, the last battle tonight. Oof, man, it's been a good battle so far. But
it's been good.
Once again, like I said, cutthroat. It's the luck of the draw. I don't want nobody coming at me tomorrow. But our last battle of the night is Nicole Bihari from the show Sleepy Hollow versus Maggie Q from the show Nikita.
Yeah. So, boy, Nicole is so fun. Nice picture too. Nice picture you found over there, Ralph.
See, like I said, like she's another one. She doesn't take too many thirst trap pictures.
Thirst trap pictures, yeah.
And that one, the one of Maggie Q, man, that's the one.
That's from Nikita.
That is from Nikita. I thought that was like Jesus, like
yeah,
it got to be that one.
Yeah, this picture, not this one, same set of photos, but it's the one with her sitting in the chair.
Yeah, that too.
Literally inspired when I was shooting pictures for my film 7 to 7. Completely inspired me. I was like, yo, I need stuff like this, right? And they really spared no expense at the wardrobe, the set design, and everything for her. I mean, she looks,
and she played into it.
She played into it.
Definitely.
Look at that whole room. That whole room is red. Like, that's crazy. Like, that shit looks so crazy right there. And I like what this picture with Nicole Bihari, because it looks like there could be Sleepy Hollow behind her back there. It's like woods, moonlight through the woods. She looks really good in this picture. But once again, this is one of those looks you can flip a coin on what your preference is. I think Maggie's impact was a little bigger, a little bit. Nicole had a great impact on the show. They cut her short, as they're not her fault. They cut her short on the show. But the impact that she showed was the fact that when she left, the show went to shit.
I think that's the impact right there. Once she was gone, the show went right to the crapper.
Went to the crapper, and she wasn't even supposedly the actual star of the show. It's Ichabod Crane. The guy who played Crane was supposed to be the star of the show. But even with him being the star of the show, see, they played themselves. They thought they were gonna be like, oh, he's the star, so anybody can fill this girl. So let's just put another cute brown woman in the place of her. And that wasn't the case. Even though the woman they put there was very attractive. I like her. But she wasn't no Nicole Bihari.
I'm gonna tell you this, right? I met Nicole Bihari. Like one of the Comic Cons I covered, we did a sit down panel with the cast of Sleepy Hollow. They had her, the other girl, they had Ichabod Crane, the woman that played his wife, and what's his name? Orlando, right?
Yeah.
But the only person that people fell over themselves to take pictures and go meet was Nicole Bihari. She was so sweet. She was sweet and kind. She accommodated everybody. But I mean, everybody did. But that was the one that people wanted to go up and meet. Everybody else was like, okay, nice to see you. How you doing? But I gotta go meet Nicole Bahari. So that whole thing that guy played Ichabod Crane was the lead. Nah. He may have been the lead, but she was the focus.
She was the focus, yeah. She was that impact character in the focus, yeah. But I'm going with even with all that said, I'm going with Maggie. I'm going with Maggie.
We about to have 3 kids. Yeah. So that's the end of it for me. I'm going with Nicole.
I actually go with Maggie only because I just think, well, I mean, it's kind of like not Nicole's fault that her show didn't last as long. At least her run on the show didn't last as long. I don't know. I think Maggie did. She really elevated that character. To me, she's the best iteration of the character, including the movie. She's the best iteration of the character. That includes the movie, the show that preceded her, and that show was successful on Sci-Fi or whatever it was on.
Yeah,
that was a successful show. I think she's the best iteration of that character. Then I move over to her other show, the show that also wished that show got cut short, but it was a good show actually. That suspense show. What was it called? It was called Stalker. The Stalker. Underrated show. You probably could catch it on Paramount Plus or something because it was a CBS show. It actually was a pretty good show. Different too. Different. I don't know if it was a little too dark for CBS or something, but it was definitely a dark show. And then she's on the show with Jack Bauer, right?
Yeah, she was on that Designated Survivor.
Designated Survivor show. Didn't really see that show, so I can't make any assumptions on that. I just think that still proves her longevity because Nicole Bahari kind of disappeared after Sleepy Hollow.
She got the TV show where she's the judge.
I know she was sick. She was sick for a while. I remember that.
Yeah.
What TV show where she's a judge?
No, that's not her. That's not her. Somebody. That's somebody else.
That's old girl from that played what's her name?
Black Light.
Yeah, not Black Light.
No, Luke Cage, right?
From Luke Cage. Yeah, the one who.
That's somebody else.
Yeah. That's who that is. I know you're talking about, but that's the one who I can't think of the name of her character. But she's now got the bionic arm, or it's like that, the arm now. Because remember in one of them shows, she ended up getting her arm taken off. Misty. Her name is Misty. Misty Knight, I believe, is the character's name. Misty Knight.
Yeah, that's who that is.
That's her. Yeah. Nicole Bahari disappeared from television. Haven't seen her. I ain't seen her in no movies, nothing. She kind of, she had got a little sick or whatever, but I don't know. She just kind of disappeared. And Maggie kept working.
No, yeah, I knew I wasn't crazy. Yeah, she's in Honk for Jesus.
What is that? I never heard of that show. And when did she do that show? That's probably recent.
Yeah, that's
for a while. She disappeared. That's what I mean by she left the show.
In 20,
she left the show. You haven't seen her.
And then she did Miss Juneteenth.
Yeah. She can act though. I saw her in this movie. It's called Apartment 4E.
Yeah, now that I'm looking at this stuff, I'm remembering now. She did Jacob's Ladder. That remake of Jacob's Ladder.
Crappy remake of Jacob's Ladder. Yeah.
Didn't need to be made.
I thought it was good.
Good and terrible.
That movie Breaking. She was just in that movie Breaking. That was good with John. God damn, the stormtrooper.
Oh, John Boyega.
Yeah.
Was she pop locking? I'm just saying. You said breaking. Was she pop locking?
The break. Yeah.
No, that was like a John Q type movie, but it was in the bank. He was a veteran, and they stole his check. Somehow somebody stole his vet check, and he just went over the edge and stuck up the bank trying to
damn.
prove corruption. And spoiler, he ended up taking one to the head.
Yeah. That's like dead presidents. And no, Joseph, I don't think Lucy Lawless is a lesbian. I believe she's married, but she could be behind closed doors. I don't know, but
No, she ain't. Lucy Lawless is not a lesbian.
I didn't think so. I mean, you don't know. Hey, look, it's Hollywood, man. You don't never know what people do behind closed doors. She might be.
She could be bi, but I always thought she was married.
Yeah, she was married. You know, it seemed happy, but like I said, when it's around you all the time, you just never know. You might want to indulge at a party. You know, we didn't all been to the grotto. We didn't all been. We've been to the grotto.
I heard. Not heard. I just got this article. It says from comicbook.com or whatever. It says Dwayne Johnson went behind DC Films' boss's back to get Henry Cavill's Superman cameo.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying, man. He making boss moves already.
Hey, all I'm gonna say about
behind the back of
bro.
the bosses and get Henry Cavill back.
Yo, bro, all I'm gonna say to Dwayne is just like, look, man, I like what you're doing. Whatever you gotta do to turn DC shit right, do it. Just do it, man, because it ain't been going right for a long time, and it's really kind of sad. You know, you would think that would be the easy thing for Warner Brothers to do. I mean, come on, Warner Brothers, you didn't launch 2 Harry Potter projects, and they were running okay. You didn't remake The Star Is Born. You and did this. You and that. You talking about doing Lethal Weapon 5 20 years later. You have the record. I mean, and I give you that because you did redo Batman, and I was
How many times they gonna say? How many times we gonna have Danny Glover remind us that he's too old for this shit?
Now he really is too old. So
now he really is too old for this.
You know,
you're gonna have old ass Danny Glover out there running around, man.
Oh no! He's gonna be not in the wheelchair. He's gonna be sitting at home trying to convince Martin, like, yo, brother, it's time for you to retire.
If he ain't retired, he'll be a captain.
Yeah,
he needs to be retired by now.
Because you too old for this shit. Come on, man. Your kid about to join the academy. Get the hell out.
Right. They probably gonna do like the same premise as what they did with Bad Boy. You know, because like Martin was like, I'm ready to retire. Remember, it was shown, and they even did that before too. Because Bad Boy kind of took a little bit from the last Lethal Weapon. Because that last Lethal Weapon, Martin Riggs was starting to realize I'm getting too old. You know, because when he tried to fight Jet Li,
Jet Li whipped his ass.
He was like, yeah,
he whipped his ass. It wasn't even funny.
Yeah, and he couldn't. He was like, dang, and I love that angle. Because it's like, yo, the only undefeated person is Father Time. He's undefeated. You know what I'm saying? So when he ran into Jet Li, and Jet Li just showed him, look, bro, I don't know if you used to be that man, but you can't mess with me. And that's pretty much happened with Will Smith in the Bad Boys movie. Remember, he was trying to, the guy he was going after was all athletic, and Will was trying to do, he can't do the things he used to do, Mike Lowry. Can do like he used to do. So, yeah, but all right, let's end this off. All
right. I mean,
it's all good.
Man. I
hate to do it.
I hate to do it, man. I'm going with Maggie Q because for no other reason, simply this. You stepped into a role that had been played by 3 other people. And you I don't know if you was better than the woman that played it in the movie. And I only say that because the movie is 2 hours. You had some years to really flesh out the character. But the other series, which realistically speaking, when you came on the air, the other Nikita wasn't that long of off the air.
Yeah,
And you kind of made me forget that show even existed.
And she passed, and rest in peace to my mom. She passed my mom test because my mother was a huge fan of the Nikita show, the one with the blonde hair woman.
Mm-hmm.
She loved that show. And for a minute, it took me a while because my mom's is stuck in her ways. It took me a while to get her to watch this one. She's like, nah, I don't want to watch this. So I don't want to watch it. I'm like, Ma, it's good. Watch it. She's like, nah, I don't want to watch it. She's not better than the other girl. But when she finally sat and gave it a chance and watched it, she was like, oh, I really like this one. I was like, I told you it was good.
Exactly.
She was like, I really like this one. She's like, she is I don't know, she said something. She was just like, I think Maggie's physique and everything, her thin, like her frame, everything just went with it. And everything fit her. Kudos to the wardrobe people. Everything fit her like a glove. And Maggie Q is a very thin woman. She's petite. But in the show, she didn't look like that.
She doesn't look dangerous at all.
Right,
you look at her like, oh, she's a fashion model, but she could whip your ass.
Right. But, everything on the show made her look even, I don't know, made her body look better. Everything fit her perfectly. She was really good as the character. Character was, I got to go with Maggie.
I got to go with Maggie. I just got to go with Maggie Q.
Maggie Q. All right, so that ends our night.
That's half. That's half of the 32. I have to fix. I just realized tonight that other 16 I have to fix because there is an error in it. There's a bad error in there. So,
really?
So all of those, just delete them. I'm gonna give you fresh ones, and I'm gonna give you the fresh ones for next week because it's a very bad error in there that I gotta fix.
Oh, okay.
But that's it for tonight, man. So please tune in next week.
Yeah,
we're gonna be doing
tune in next week, people. Appreciate y'all for hanging out. Big up to.
Well, I don't know what happened to Wes, but big up to everybody for tuning in. Thank you to Joseph and everybody else. He's back.
Kicked out again for the stupid magic mouse. But yeah, big up to everybody who came into the chat room. Joseph always holding.
No, Joseph. Jacob's ladder is not about a ladder that belongs to Jacob. No, that's not. No, that's not what it's about.
It's about a ladder that belongs to Jacob.
But if you're gonna watch it, watch the original one with Robbins.
Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins.
That's
and Elizabeth Pena.
Yeah, that movie was hella creepy.
Yeah,
like it was very, very good movie, but it was creepy. Everyone, good big up. Once again, happy birthday, No Nonsense. She jumped in here.
Happy
Shout
birthday.
out. Happy birthday. Shout out to all Libras out there. Shout out to the Scorpios that are in the same month. And October rocks. October rocks. So two of my favorite people, one being Kevin and my girl Eugenia. Two of my favorite people are October Scorpios. So yeah, I gotta big that up too. But it's still Libra season. We feel the cold chill moving in, and it's about to be Scorpio season. You feel as it gets a little colder and the chill moves in, the fog moves in, and here comes the Scorpios next week. So all right, so yeah, next week we'll reconvene. We'll get through this next round next week. Yeah, we'll move forward on it and get it popping. And you guys have a good week. Have a good night. A good rest of the week. Peace out, everybody.